What's going on, Internet? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Game and Illuminaughty podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned in to episode 139. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI Updates, know this show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need your 5-star rating to get up on that algorithm. To bring in new potential listeners. Also, follow the podcast on social media. We drop daily content on our social media pages. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle on every platform is at GI Updates. Once again, we drop daily content. And then also patreon.com/GI Updates. If you want to financially back the show and join the Discord, because we got the best Discord on the internet. Ain't no weirdo shit going on there. It's a one-time fee to join the Discord. After that, if you can't afford it, we're not gonna kick you out. It's all good. But once again, that's patreon.com/GI Updates if you want to join the Discord. Follow us on social media. Rate the show 5 stars. Now, allow me to introduce you to my co-host, the first of which we've warned him for years to leave Detroit, but he just refused to leave. And only now recently, I wish you guys could have seen the group chat this past week. Only recently has he seen the dangers of Detroit. Mr. Ethos, what do you have to say for yourself?
There's no dangers in Detroit. I love my city. I'm not a fraud that leaves and abandons their people behind. I love my city. JG's an exception. He's allowed to, because that's worse. So JG is an exception to the rule. But like Jada said, I'm outside. What up, everybody?
Sound like a sleeper agent from Bossing Say. And my second co-host, there's no war in Detroit.
There's no war in Detroit. I'm not talking about.
And my second co-host,
this is all fake. This is all fake. Like it's gonna like fall down. It's just like you see like Fallout. Like
come on now, we're gonna be like Fallout. Detroit become human. Something's gonna happen in Detroit.
In the background.
Alien just abducts him mid-show. One of the spy balloons. My second co-host, when he's not skipping out on streams on Twitch to make babies, he's streaming games nobody cares about, like Wanted Dead. JG, say what up to the people.
I mean, somebody got to do it, right? That's what you all want to hear us talk about. The games, whether they're good or bad, somebody got to play it. Somebody got to talk about it. So I have to be the catalyst this time, okay? But on another note, huge shout out to everybody who has been particularly watching or listening to the YouTube version of this. So I hope that, us changing the format made this a little bit more, digestible for you all. I know you all like to see our faces, and we have been seeing better numbers. So shout out to all the day one. Shout out to the new people too. Like, make yourself known. I want to know all the new people that came from whatever platform that watches or listen to us now. Shout out to y'all.
I like how JG tried to position himself as he's like a man of the people. Like, I played Wanted Dead for y'all, as if like the last 2 podcasts he hasn't been hyping this dumbass game up, bruh. But we gonna get into that later anyway.
Hey man, chill. I can be
There's
wrong.
There's evidence.
I can be wrong too. I can play the game and also be wrong about a game that I may have been a little bit excited for.
Okay.
Didn't you get some shill gear too?
Yeah. They gave me a care package. Okay.
You want to show it off?
They gave me a care package. Shout out to 101 Studio. They did give me a care package. It's actually a pretty dope care package, but I can still call it how it is. What's your catchphrase, TBH? Just because it's free don't mean shit to me. Like, we still gonna give it the real. We still gonna give it the truth. If it's bad, it's bad.
Speaking of care package, I wore my we all got a care package for The Last of Us, which, by the way, that show is like, I saw some people in the comment section saying like, wait till you see episode 3. They answered a lot of your criticism. The show has gotten a lot better. They're on like episode 6, I think, now at this point, since we last talked about it. They sent us all a care package. Shout out to HBO. I wore the jacket that we got for Valentine's Day for dinner. And Lil Mama was definitely hating on me because we've been watching it together. And she's like, what the fuck? That's my favorite show. And I'm like, she's like, how did you wear that? Where'd you get that from? I'm like, somebody from HBO watched the podcast. I was like, what can I say, man? But I was like, I know it's your favorite show. I was like, we watch it together. What the fuck are you talking about? Like I wasn't even there. Dude, I'm busy. You got to go. But yeah, shout out to HBO. That jacket is fly. I don't know if y'all got to wear it yet. In the back. Ethos, come on, Doc.
What?
He's still with his boy chilling. He go chill the whole episode. Look out.
I'm chilling The Last of Us. I'm chilling The Last of Us.
We got a special guest, The Last of Us, on this episode. We got to click
you can watch The Last of Us on HBO. Thanks guys for watching and supporting my show.
Nah, the show has definitely gotten a lot better since like the first 2 episodes. Although I didn't think it was bad. I'd go as far as to say, like, I've seen a lot of people say that like this is the best like live action video game adaptation. Not that there was like a lot of like competition. I probably would agree with that statement now. It's gotten a lot better because they've deviated away. But anyways, let's get into the show. Before we get into the leading conversations, delays and deletions. A lot has happened since the last podcast. Several games are being taken offline. Those include Apex Mobile, Rumbleverse, Knockout City, Crossfire X, and Back 4 Blood. All of their servers will be knocked off online by, I believe, like May at the latest. Rumbleverse was that wrestling game. Knockout City was the dodgeball game. That one actually had like a little momentum with like content creators at one point. Crossfire X just fucking sucks. And then Back 4 Blood, that made a little bit of noise too. That was like the bootleg Left 4 Dead. Are you guys sad about any of these games being shut down?
I heard that dodgeball game was good.
Yeah,
I didn't even play it because I knew it was going to be at this point, but I didn't expect it to go out this quickly.
So how many of those games, because multiverse is only a matter of time, how many of those games
hold on, give context, because you can't just say that. Give context for those unaware. They
pretty much have lost 99% of their population now, and honestly, I can't remember the last time I even heard an announcement about like a new character coming out for that game. So I don't know, maybe
to put a number behind it too. It's being reported on Steam that they have less than 1,000 players on multiverses, so people are saying it's gonna die pretty soon. But go ahead, Ethos.
Yeah, so I mean, they still have crossplay, so maybe the stuff on the people who are playing it on potentially like consoles are still keeping it alive. So, but at least on PC, it seems like a lot of people have. This was the Smash killer too, and it just ended up. I don't know.
Can we stop calling games the Call of Duty killer and the Smash killer? Like, is it safe to stop doing that now? Like,
this did have a lot of potential to kill Smash, like or to overtake Smash.
But it didn't, though. That's the point. It didn't.
But they didn't. But they did. But they had everything lined up to. If anybody could have pulled it off, it would have been them. And I don't know why. I don't know if it was like I don't remember the last time. What was the last character they announced? Like I remember we were all like just experimenting and brainstorming of all the
Martian Manhunter, and then they delayed like one character after that, and it's been kind of quiet for them. I had a theory in the group chat, and like I'll say it here. Like, if you notice, the game really started to die down around the same time that they announced Black Adam was coming to the game. And if you remember, that bombed in the movie theaters. And then James Gunn came in and destroyed all of the DC cinematic universe. So one could argue maybe The Rock is the reason why multiverses is dead.
Man, put your tinfoil hats on, because this man really pulling it, Ethos. It's crazy though, because Smash Brothers, I know that I don't think that they're going to be back at like Evo or any of like those major tournaments. Like, they're still having smaller tournaments, but Smash Brothers not being an Evo was something serious. They were like, all right, we're like finally done. So Multiverses was supposed to come in and like be that new.
They were big at Evo. Yeah, they were big.
Yeah, they were actually doing pretty good. And like, I still follow somebody who regularly does commentary for Multiverses. But I'm guessing these tournaments are still pretty small.
What are you commentating on? That wasn't even a joke.
Whatever's going on in Multiverses.
Well, I'm trying to figure out if nobody plays the game, what he commentating on. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I mean, apparently there's still a very small community. Maybe they're the only ones keeping it alive. But like I told Steve in the signal, if the FGC doesn't fully embrace whatever fighting game that you came out with, then you're done. And that's unfortunately what's going on. I think that's one of the major reasons. I don't know about the casual players, but if the FGC don't embrace it, then it's DOA.
This is a rare case where like the game was actually really good. So like I've been trying to think about why did it fail. I watched some videos and I've seen some people make some valid points. I don't even think it was necessarily the characters, the slow drip. I think that for like a fighting game, and Steve said it in the group chat, for a fighting game, they did put out a good amount of characters in a speedy amount of time compared to other fighting games. I think it was like the battle pass was the reason that game failed. There wasn't a lot of good content to unlock to keep people coming back.
Was it ranked?
I don't remember.
I don't even think there was a rank mode. It wasn't at launch, right? I mean, I barely played Multiverses, so I can't really. I don't remember a lot of it. I played a little bit at launch.
I don't remember.
Because I feel like Steve, of all people, Steve would have been heavy on it. I think if there had been a ranked mode.
And then I think about it too. Nomad's favorite character in the game was that dog. What was his name? The original character.
Rhine Dog.
Yeah, his favorite
Dog,
character was Rhine Dog. He didn't really like playing any of the other WB characters, so we could probably blame Nomad too, because he seemed to be obsessed with things that didn't matter, you know? So it's just something.
Like Iggy and Scorch.
Just something to think about. It's just something to think about, man.
Apparently it was there, so I don't know. I truly don't know. It seemed
Rank
like
was there? There was a rank.
Yeah, it seemed like WB
I don't
had
know.
pretty much everything that you wanted. So
Wait, was
I
it
don't
there
think that
day
the battle
one?
pass.
Was it there
the
day
battle-
one?
No, I don't. No, it wasn't there
Oh.
day one. No, it wasn't there day one. So
Okay.
I don't know.
It just goes to show you can have all your ducks in line and still fail.
Yeah.
Sometimes luck, maybe a little bit of luck is involved. I'm not surprised Rumbleverse failed though. Nomad played the hell out of that.
I'm not surprised either. I mean, honestly, Epic tried. You know, they tried to make another free to play
Fortnite.
VR alongside of Fortnite, but nothing's going to even come close to what Fortnite has done and is still doing.
People
And the
don't
fact
wanna
that the
play-
same company made it, and they're already about to sunset, it kind of tells you something.
People are sick of BRs. That's all that's telling.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
don't want to play BR games. That's it. Tired.
I'm surprised Apex Mobile guys sunset so quickly though, because from my understanding that was making the money and it was a good game. But hey, like you said, maybe people are just tired of BRs. But hey, at least they're bringing some of that content over to the main game. Let's see, delays. One major delay that's happened since the last podcast is one of the biggest games of the year, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, has been delayed till April 28th. The GOW Respawn released a statement, a big letter to the fans letting you guys know. Basically, the gist of it is they want to, live up to the quality of their standards. And they said they need more time to make the game. So it's been pushed back to April 28th. For those of you unaware, is this a big hit for any of you guys?
Nah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I need the time anyway. So I'm very excited to play the game. Don't get me wrong, but I'm glad I got more breathing room now.
For sure. I'm the same way. I'm kind of at a point where especially after, because I just played Undisputed, and I'm getting a lot of hate from that community.
Oh, you made them mad. There you go. Good
Yeah,
job.
I made them mad because the game, I uploaded a video showing the game was just a laggy mess, and people in the comment section saying your internet's trash, your PC's trash. I have a high-end PC and gigabit internet. I stream all the time. I upload videos all the time. The game's in early access. Maybe it just doesn't work for some people the same way it works for you. And when I posted about that, several people were leaving comments yeah, I was having issues. I refunded it too. But it's people want a boxing game so badly that they're just blindly supporting that shit. Even though I'm showing video evidence. And then also, and we'll get into that later, Wild Hearts, that's been getting mixed reviews as well, mainly because of that PC version having performance issues. So I'm not mad if a company delays a game because I just want the game to work. I think the consolation prize was we did get a chance to look at some new gameplay. I put it in the notes. I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at it, but IGN is getting a first look for Black History Month. They're getting first hands-on look for Star Wars Jedi Survivor. They released 9 minutes of gameplay, just kind of exploring one of the early worlds of this game. Did anything stand out to y'all? Did y'all like it?
Looks like more Jedi Fallen Order, but just with more stuff. So like Ragnarok. It's probably expecting the same type of thing, just more the kind of same stuff. I didn't see anything really I was ooh, didn't expect that.
Yeah, what you mean by that? That for Black History Month, IGN got it. What you trying to say about it?
Should have came to us now.
that's what I thought you were trying to go with that. I thought you were trying to go. Yeah, go to Black people give us the first look. But no, the world looked nice though. The world looked nice. I'm not the biggest critic about what I've seen here, but like I said, overall, I'm excited about it, and the world was nice on the first one too. So we shall see, and we shall see where this goes. But nothing really stood out. It was just kind of the world and showing the beacon and how far he can look to see what he needs to see to get to the next part. It's fine, but the game looked freaking great from what we saw.
Yeah, they said it was early footage. This is the first world. So I don't think there's going to be anything amazing. They did say they're going to be showing more gameplay throughout the rest of the month, so maybe by the next podcast we could talk about that. The one thing I will say that did stand out to me about this gameplay that I did like, I didn't see too many people comment on. This is the first world. It's early in the game, and if you notice, he has all his abilities. So it's looking like we won't have to be doing any of that dumbass Metrovania, oh, I forgot how to use my abilities. It looks like he's coming in as Cal Kestis at the end of the first game into this one. So then it looks, by the end of the game, will probably be a badass. I could be wrong, but like that's what I got out of the gameplay, that we don't have to relearn all our fucking abilities from the first game, which thank God, because I don't want to do that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna admit, like, in Ethos as a dev, how do you feel about games that have done that? When you have the first game, you learn pretty much everything you need to know, and then the sequel comes out, and you essentially just have to relearn everything. You just,
I hate that.
Just
shit.
has amnesia.
I hate it. I didn't like it in God of War Ragnarok when they maybe redo skills that I had from the end of the first game. The only exception to the rule would be something like with Mass Effect. So when Mass Effect went from 1 to 2, the reason why you lose everything at the beginning of 2 is because there's such a dramatic change in a lot of the mechanics of the game, and a lot of things got.
It was also contextual too. The story.
Yeah, and contextual. Yeah, like they had to make you reset. I guess if you do from a narrative standpoint, you make it where in the sequel they somehow lose their powers because of some reason. But even if you can do that, I'd prefer if it's like, I prefer not to waste my time with stuff that I already have experienced. Give me everything that I already learned and I mastered in the first game, and then just add on top of that and give me new stuff. That's what a sequel should be about, not making you retread the same water over it. It should be, more of a polishing of what worked really well in your game, a fixing of the parts of the previous game that didn't work that well, and then just like giving me more of the best parts of your game. That's just.
And that has been inside the mind of a game developer. Last little bit of news about games, delays, and deletions and whatnot. This is probably one of the hardest pieces hitting in the news. Dead Island 2. They recently took to Twitter and they said, you asked for it and you got it. Dead Island 2 went gold, which for those of you unaware, that doesn't mean it sold 500,000 copies. That's a music term. In gaming, gold means that the game is finished. So they said that the game is finished and it's coming out a week early. See you in hell on April 21st. 2023. So the game has been pushed up a week early. What's that doing for you, Jay?
Man, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Just put it in my veins. Put all the zombie games. Just put it straight in my veins. I want to play it all. Now, in all seriousness, this is way too late. I know that the developers of this game, I don't know what the hell was going on, but they were pulling up a whole bunch of old tweets. When's the game coming out? I'm sure they were super freaking old. I don't think that anybody cares right now. I feel like it's a very, very small community that wanted to see Dead Island 2 come out, but it's way too late for me to even care.
I'll tell you this much: that trailer, that tweet will not age well if the game sucks, because they said we'll see you in hell April 23rd. Like, you're right. Like, the game runs like fucking hell. Like, so it's not going to age well. People are going to definitely meme that shit up. But I don't understand what they bragging about being a week early, considering the game is 10 years late. Let's not forget, guys, this game was announced like E3 2009 or some shit. So whatever. I don't expect it to be anything higher than a 7. I would be shocked if it did higher than a 6, actually. I could be wrong, though. We'll see. Is this doing anything for you, Ethos?
I'm getting really, really scary Dying Light 2 vibes. Same type of setup. Game gets announced years ago, almost like 6-7 years ago. Goes quiet for a bunch of years. We're not even sure. Like, we see it pop up every once in a while. Then it sounds like it's been iced. Then all of a sudden it comes back from the dead like a zombie. And now we're just like, oh, I forgot you exist. You're coming out in this year and you're speeding it up. It's like, okay. It's like one of those things where it's like, all right, if it comes out and I don't have anything else to play, then I'll give it a shot, but like I don't think I'm excited for it. But I did enjoy the first Dead Island, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be a mess. I think it might be one of the worst releases that happened this year. That's just from my feeling, everything that's happened with that game. So like it's just gonna be held together with tape. I really feel like it's going to be a weird game.
Normally here on the Gaming Illuminati podcast, we go by facts, statistics, and data. But for some reason, our feeling is just telling us something is off about Dead Island 2. I don't know.
The vibes aren't right over there. The vibes aren't right. So.
We gonna see. Let's get into the main conversation of the show. So since the last podcast, one of the biggest games of 2023 has dropped. It's called Hogwarts Legacy. A lot of foolishness, a lot of drama surrounding it. If you're unaware, Hogwarts Legacy is a game set in the Harry Potter universe where you get to create your own wizard or witch, and then you join one of the, how many houses is in it, Ethos?
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know the number. Is it like 4 or 5? I feel like that's the number. It's 4? Okay. I just want to be 100% correct. You get to join one of the 4 houses, and you go on this adventure, and you unravel a conspiracy, and you get all these magic abilities and stuff like that. Big open world. You get a broom. Anywhere you see in the game, you can go. There's like 36 spells in the game. It's open world. Lots to explore. Lots of puzzles. Very immersive in terms of like things that are going on in the world. Ethos, you are the biggest Harry Potter fan here, so I want to hear and you completed the game, unlike me and JG doesn't beat any games. I plan on beating it, but
I have 12 hours. Chill out, bro.
That's not enough. Ethos, you beat the game. You beat the game. So give us your take. How you feeling about Hogwarts Legacy? Was it worth the wait? Is this the game that you dreamed of playing as a kid?
I am, with a heavy heart, I am happy to report it is everything and more of what I wanted to play as a kid growing up. I feel like Homelander, you know that meme where he's like, it was perfect. Everything, every aspect of it. It was the campaign, the whole story of it. It was like the story wasn't like, again, this is based off of a children's book series. So I was like, I'm not going in here expecting some riveting sort of like in-depth story that makes me question myself. It makes me think about it like how like I did with Cyberpunk. But it was just like I enjoyed it, and on top of that, like it was so immersive for me. It felt like a best hits of the movies. Like when I was doing certain main quests in the story, like it was just literally taking like scene after scene after scene from stuff in the movie that was just like, even though this is a completely different time period and none of the characters are in here except for like some of their like great grandparents, like Ron Weasley's great grandmom is one of the professors in this, so there are some little connections here and there, but it was just like there was just a moment where I was like,
so this is a prequel,
Lord, like, yeah, this is in the 1800s. Harry Potter takes place, I think, in the present day of 2001. Yeah, this is extremely. That
makes sense because you remember early in the game you meet that African girl. She's from Ghana, I believe, and she says that she in her country they cast magic with their hands, and it took her a while to get used to using a wand. She didn't want to do it, and I'm like, why would they force her to use a wand? Like using your hand sounds like it's more efficient, but that makes more sense now. This took place in the 1800s. They was like, nigga, you better use that wand. You lucky you even get to get in our school.
I was surprised that there were black people that weren't.
Black guy.
The timeline makes sense. They were just racist. I get it. Okay.
I was like, that's the thing too. I was like, there's like, I will say who, but there's definitely people in the game who are racist, like definitely racist, and they got slave, you know, like the elves are basically slaves, like, and there's definitely like very problematic stuff. I think, especially in this universe, stuff like that. But I was like, dog, this is the 1800s. I'm like, they were enslaving black people at this time, but black people were still enslaved at this time. Like, none of this surprised me, like, playing it and stuff like that. I was like, yeah, none of these attitudes that these characters are having about, like, people being, like, of, like, pure blood and people are not. I'm like, no, none of this surprised me in the characters. As a matter of fact, like, it fits the time period of which this game takes place. So, I don't know. I just think, like, so it's hard for me to say this, but I will say this. So when I say this, just try to understand. I think that this game is a masterpiece from the aspect of, if you are a Harry Potter fan and you grew up on Harry Potter and you always wanted to like live in that world for just a day or a week, right? And just experience like that magic that the series had when you were a kid. This seals it like near perfectly. The only thing it's missing is Quidditch. That's it. And I get why Quidditch wasn't in it, because the game is insane. It is, in my mind, like it is close to Elden Ring's level of like just stuff in the game that I was just like, whoa, like what the heck? From everything from like the puzzles, the exploration. They have a damn Pokemon breeding system in this. You can catch animals, put them in a little bin, make them breed with each other. You have shinies in the game, so you can get a shiny pet animal that has a special color. You know you can cook in your little room of requirements. You can start cooking up potions and stuff and selling it. Like it's just, there's just so much stuff in the game that I just was like, you know, this is outside of just doing main story stuff and just side quest stuff and just exploring and discovering puzzles and solving them. It was just completely like, I didn't think it would be able to pass my expectations. My expectation was kind of like solid. I don't think they were high, but I had a solid expectation. And it nailed everything I wanted, and it did even more. So controversy aside, because I know there's hella controversy with this game, I think if you're looking strictly at the game itself and what the game is and your own personal biases and hatred towards J.K. Rowling, which is totally justified, it's without a doubt a Game of the Year contender. No doubt in my mind. The question is, does that controversy, are people going to be too scared to even say that? I'll say it, because I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm going to say, it is what it is, bro. And that's what you said, TBH, earlier. It was like, the thing that's going to piss people off the most about this game is if the game is good. And I think at this point, if you really are out here trying to review this game or talk about this game and say this game looks trash or it plays like trash or it is trash, you look worse. You don't look better. You kind of look like you're just straight up. You look like you're hating. So I hate, like, as much as some people really wanted this game to suck and fail, it was the complete opposite. It was a home run. So.
One question I had for you, since you actually finished the game, one of my concerns is, how did the combat feel towards the end of the game? Did it feel like it got stale, or did you feel like there was still enough there that you were having fun?
So I feel like half of it was, I don't know how far you are. I don't know if it was half of it was because when I got the curses, I was losing my mind. Like that was, so I was running around just one-shotting stuff, killing people, torturing them. Like I was just doing a bunch of, crazy stuff in the game by that point. I would say no, just because I would play the entire game on the hardest difficulty. So I played it like it was like a kind of like an Elden Ring game. Because like I legitimately was getting like 2-shot, 3-shot killed. So like I had to be extra careful about like in combat, about like dodging stuff, deflecting. And then on top of that, there's a lot of hidden depth in the game that I think a lot of people don't realize with the game. There is actually a lot of spells, if you time them correct, when a certain like enemy is trying to cast something at you, when you hear them yelling off spells, if you actually do certain spells against certain enemies, you can make them basically misfire their spells and they end up hitting their allies. You can make enemies end up flipping, turning into birds. Like there's a lot of that hidden stuff that the game doesn't.
I saw that firsthand. It's very interesting to watch other people play games. I was in somebody's stream literally right before we started this, and they were playing it. And she was fighting one of those frogs that you find by any water source. Like they were kind of armored, and they're hard to kill if you just spam the attack. This person had hundreds of people in their chat, and they were all talking about how much they love the game, but nobody told her. I'm like, yo, I typed in the chat. I was like, yo, when the frog sticks the tongue out, hit it with the Levioso, and it'll knock them into the sky, and then you can hit their stomach for damage. Yeah, she was like level 20. She had no clue. I'm like, yo, y'all gotta stop pressing these buttons. The game doesn't tell you. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Game does tell you, but it doesn't tell you where you can find it. It's in the lore. So if you take the time to read it's an actual, the field guide, the actual thing that the game like encourages you to explore and do stuff because it keeps track. It's like what you said. Remember when you said before you beat the game, or when you did the preview, you were just like, this is like a collectathon. There's a lot of stuff you can collect in this game. Like that whole field guide is literally, it's a guide to tell you like, hey, you have stuff to do this, and this. And if you go into the combat sector of the field guide, it shows you every single enemy that you played against. And if you just read it people didn't read it. I don't know why. I took some time. I was like, whoa, this is really insightful. The guide tells you like, if you're going against this type of enemy, do that thing, or time it when they do this thing, and you can cause them to mess up, or like what's their weaknesses. So like it actually encourages, kind of like how I felt like Witcher 3 kind of makes you have to read the bestiary, because when you're going up against like hunting a certain beast, you got to kind of know, okay, what oils does this beast hate? What type of spells does it not like? So I can like kind of put that into my combat style so I can succeed. But I feel like if you play it at like an easy game mode, right, you really don't need to worry about this. Kind of what you said, you can just keep flicking your wand and spamming it, and then you might think, oh well, the combat's kind of basic. But when you're in like hard mode, like for me, like I had to learn that stuff. Like I was just, or I die. Like it was very like life and death type of thing. So it was very lethal if you got hit by something. So you had to time stuff. You had to know who you were fighting, the type of people they were fighting, and obviously the whole shield thing is important. You have to match the color with the shield. Okay. But to answer your question, I think I can't speak for you because you haven't watched the movies, but like being able to use some of those like unforgivable curses and just like see all the spells that are in the movies and the game, I felt like there was a lot, and there's a lot of combos. It's almost like a fighting. There's a whole ass combo system where you can do like I'm talking like you can straight up juggle people in this game. You mix it with the potions and stuff where you reduce your cooldowns. You can just juggle somebody for like a ridiculously long time, get like 100. So
yeah, I seen a one tweet from like some creator. They like people were posting clips trying to make the game look bad, and they were like, "This is the game that you guys are choosing over Forspoken." I'm like, first of all, I don't know shit about Harry Potter, and the fact that I'm able to even understand the story and I'm engaged by it, that alone makes it better than Forspoken. Please stop. Let's not. Y'all are trying way too hard to shit on stuff.
I don't know. Yeah,
it's okay to have like a stance on like.
It's better. Honest to God, it's so much better if you just be like, fuck J.K. Rowling. I don't like her. That's why I'm hating on this shit. Instead of trying to do this roundabout way of like, I gotta hate on the game against like you don't even have to do that.
Direct. Yeah, just be direct.
Like, I hate that bitch. That's all you gotta say. And be like, okay, I get it. You ain't gotta do some video thing. You ain't gotta try to act like it's something else. Yeah, you ain't gotta try to move the goalpost. Just say you don't like it. But the problem is, and it's what you said. It's just people are just talking out of their ass and they're looking really stupid because they're talking about the game. But the problem is, a majority of the people who are trying to shit talk this game didn't play it. That's the problem. It's outside of like, let's not even talk about Hogwarts, just like games in general. You know how we always have this conversation about like, how are you shit talking, or how do you know that you're good, that this game is ass, or that you don't like this game if you didn't even try it or you didn't even play it? You know what I mean? Or like you're just perceiving it. Well, I just saw this little clip and that's how I know this shit's ass. And I see that a lot where people are trying to put these negatives towards the game, where I'm just like, that's just factually wrong. I was like, but if you played the game, you would know that. But a lot of these people didn't play it, so they hear information about the game without the context of which it's happening with the game, and they just take it and run with it because it fits an agenda they want.
Well, that's not true. A lot of people did play it because it was the best-selling game for like the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Which is crazy because I could have swore the boycott. Yo, I'm telling you, these boycotts work, man. Y'all should keep doing this.
I love when stuff like this happens because it's like a reminder to people that like what you say on Twitter
is not real. Twitter is not real.
It's not the real world.
I'll tell you. Funny thing. So this is one example where Twitter became real life for me. And I was like, well, what the fuck? So this is just an example of it where you're talking about is so I was at a card shop playing Magic, and when we were up there, I was getting sleeves for this deck out, and so they had Hogwarts. So I was like, oh no. So I was talking. So this one girl was like, oh, have you played that Hogwarts game? And I was like, yeah, I played. Actually, I beat it. And then she was like, oh, what do you think? You know, I was thinking about getting. I was like, no, I think if you grew up on Harry Potter, like you'll love it. And then the other person who was a cashier was like, oh yeah, I enjoyed Harry Potter movies. And like some random person came up who was just like, did the whole caveat about, well, I'm not gonna support it because of J.K. Rowling. I was like, wow, it was like watching someone in Twitter actualize in real life, and you're just like, huh, that's weird. But then the problem, like the funny part was like they said their piece and they were just done with it. It wasn't like I'm gonna start, you're canceled. It was just like, hey, I just disagree because this person's bad, this white thing bad. And we're just like, okay. And some people were like, but I still want to try it out. And it's like, yeah, well, that's your choice. And that's just how it ended. And I'm like, that's how it is in real life. A lot of people just be Twitter fingering on Twitter. Like, what
I had somebody when I was streaming it, I had somebody come in my chat and they were like, I just got done streaming the game and like I'm having a bad day because I guess when he was streaming it, he got attacked and he was like, I just feel like a shitty person. And he's like, but it makes me feel better to see you playing it. And I was like, check it out, bro. I was like, I'm not saying I agree with J.K. Rowling, but I was like, on the flip side of things, those people who are harassing you, I was like, let's say tomorrow you get an eviction notice on your door. Do you think those people who are attacking you are going to give a fuck about your life? And he was like, no. He was like, that's actually a very good point. I was like, bro, stop letting people tell you how to spend your fucking money, bro. You be all right. You're not a terrible person. It's okay. But Jay, I'm tired of talking about some of this stuff. What you think about the game? You got negative 12 hours on it, right?
Yeah, negative 12 hours. Yeah, I don't even know how that's possible. This man's making up stuff. Yeah, I have negative 12 hours. Yes, I bring. Yeah, it just got out of my mind. Yes, now I gotta catch back up. But yeah, everything that the ethos has said, I agree with, and what you said. I love the world, the story, and I want to go back to this because I've said this a million times. Because I'm not a Harry Potter fan like ethos is. I did watch some movies though. That this wasn't a Harry Potter game and it had the exact same setting, had the exact same story. Like everything was there, but it just didn't have Harry Potter lore. It wasn't in the Harry Potter universe. I would still like the game. And after playing it, I still feel the same way. Like I'm following the story enough that I'm interested. It's not the best story. It's not, not the best story in the world, but I understand it and it makes more sense now that I understand like the time period that it is. in the Harry Potter universe. So once you really take that into account, you're like, okay, this makes sense. You know, this is the enemy here. This is why they're doing bad things. It's up to you, you know, as a person who's learning this different magic. As a 5th-year student, this is how you got into this situation, and this is what you have to do in order to defeat the enemy. So I understand that. That's already a plus for me. That puts it over Forspoken, because I just did not like the Forspoken story. I just really got to a point where in Forspoken I was just playing it just to beat it, but I didn't care about the story at all. Like, I was not interested in it. I was not engaged in it. But with this story, I am engaged in it. It's a lot of stuff to do in the universe, but I want to do it. That's also a thing. Like, if you have all these side quests,
we know you want to
matter how. Yeah.
Mr. Stream for it. We know.
Anyways, this guy, he had to say something. Bro, this dude about to make me choke up. Oh my goodness. All right, so it's after being rudely interrupted. So the side quest. So I actually want to do the side quest because of the things that you get. Like, I feel like you're handsomely rewarded. This guy, man, about to
you good at Ethos?
like Ethos is done, bro.
You said, where did that come from?
I know, right? Like, it was such a simple joke, right? Like, anyway, but the side quests that you have, like, I actually want to do them because I want all the spells. Like, I want the unforgivable curses. Like, I want to do all of these things. So that's why, like, I'm going and I'm, you know, actually exploring the universe to get all of these things. So I like that part. I like how, like, it's a crap ton of collectibles. Like, you don't even have to buy anything. Like, a lot of the stuff, like all the gear and all of that stuff, like, you don't even have to buy it. You can just find it out, you know, just exploring. So many chests and so many things that you can get. So you just have to really progress through the game and do a lot of side quests in order to unlock a lot of the stuff in the game. So, you know, that's a huge incentive to actually go and explore and do all of these things. I don't feel like the combat is boring. Yeah, you know, it can get repetitive at some time, but again, you just have to really understand the game. Cause like what Ito said, like, you can pull off some combos if you just have, you know, the right set of magic spells. So you really just have to learn how to play the game, like do some of these side quests, go and do the underground fight club, you know, mission. So, like, you can learn some of these things, like practice against the dummies to actually learn, you know, how to defeat the enemies, you know, once you go on and face them. So it's a lot of things that are thrown at you, but you just kind of have to read and in order to fully understand how to do a lot of these things. So it's cool. I definitely like all of that stuff. So I'm enjoying the game so far. I don't know how far I am, but like I said, I'm 12 hours in, but I'm just doing a lot of exploring right now. I want to get a lot of these spells before I continue on. So it's really good. But like I said before, like, I don't think that even if you're not a Harry Potter fan or don't understand anything about it, I think you can easily pick up this game and play it. And like I said, if it wasn't in a Harry Potter universe, I would still enjoy it. Like, that's not a selling factor for me, like it being a Harry Potter game on it. I just like it because it's a dope wizard game.
Freaking
I was gonna say too, even though I said this game is like definitely game of the year and blah blah blah, it's not perfect. I would say one of the cons of the game is I feel like it doesn't have that much enemy variety that I would love to see. But I feel like so this is gonna be a very weird comparison, but I hope people understand why I'm making this comparison. It reminds me of how God of War 20 was, where it was just like there's a very strong base game here with some very interesting mechanics, very well thought out, like built presentation. And I remember one thing about God of War 18 was there wasn't that much enemy variety, but then in Ragnarok, then they just overhauled, like, you know, they added a bunch more enemy. And I feel like in this game, it's like a similar thing. I think like they made a really good base here, but obviously there's stuff that's Quidditch. But there's still so much stuff that I think when they do make a sequel for this game, I think it's going to be insane from like a scale standpoint. I think, like, you know, got to add Quidditch, more enemy variety. I would love for them to add more. One con I did have is like I love them to add more morality, like an actual like Mass Effect morality, like kind of a Paragon Renegade. Actually add more moments, because there were moments in the game, not to say when or where they happen, but like I was able to torture kids. I was torturing kids, killing people. Like you kill people in this game as like a.
All right, tribute Red.
Well, I mean, it's kind of wild. This is a kids game, a teen game, but like you're blowing people up out of existence. You're striking them with lightning and obliterating people. Like you're torturing people and they're crying out, begging for mercy. Like it's kind of really, really dark. But it's a power fantasy. But I think like a sequel, I think will like fix a lot of those issues. But the reason why I say it's like a masterpiece because nothing's perfect. The reason I say that is just I think just the aspect of if you're a Harry Potter person who grew up on the series and wanted to live that, or you played the games. I played Chamber of Secret and I played.
It's the best Harry Potter game. That's what you're trying to say.
It's the best Harry Potter game, and not only that, it's kind of what you guys are saying too. It's not only that, it's just a good game. It's a damn good game off rip. And the Harry Potter game is what allows it to elevate. Because it's a Harry Potter game, it elevates.
Because I feel like, if you're like a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna say it's a game of the year contender. Yeah. But like I don't know if I agree with that statement that it's a game of the year contender. Like based off what I played, I'm like 15, 20 hours in. It's like a solid 8. It is a really good game. But it does have some issues. I can't speak on the story because I'm literally still in the tutorial area. I'm like level 24. But what I really like about the game is like once you get past like a certain mission, it lets you go explore the world and do whatever you want. So like I've just been running around, unlocking spells, doing puzzles, taking down enemy camps, and like some of the things that I've seen is like the lack of enemy variety, like you mentioned. But one thing you didn't mention is the AI is awful in this game. I'd say.
Wait, what game mode are you playing on?
I was playing on Xbox.
No. What mode? What difficulty were you?
I was playing on
hard. They were. Okay,
I
was playing on hard. They were not Ubisoft AI.
Okay, Ethos. Most people are going to play the game on hard. Most people are going to
play it on Elden Ring mode.
Most people are going to play it on normal. Most people are going to play the game on normal. So what you talking about don't matter.
I would tell people to play it on the harder difficulty. If you feel like the AI is stupid or they're too easy, play it on hard.
Well, I wasn't going to say it was easy. What I was going to say is like it has some of that Ubisoft AI where like it's just not functional. It's been plenty of like what are the poacher camps that I go into. First of all, the mission structure just reminds me of Assassin's Creed. But like it's been plenty of times where like I'll hit a rock to distract them, and then they'll go walk over there and look for me. What was that sound? And they're like, oh, and then they can't find me. And then they'll be like, oh, it must have been the wind. And then they'll just walk into a wall for like 10 minutes straight. And I did it on stream. I stood behind him, and he's just walking into a tree, or they'll get stuck in the geometry and stuff like that.
In a wizard game.
It's in the game. What the fuck? It's literally.
Okay, there is a spell for it.
There's literally a spell where you go like this, but now you're judging my gameplay.
I'm absolutely judging your gameplay.
This is why we can't listen to Ethos. He's biased. He's biased. This is a conspiracy, people.
No, he is going there right now.
See all my Twitter clips. How many of them were there me crouch sneaking around? No, I was just running up, boom, 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 just shooting people with spells.
Because I wanted to see what the game has to offer. I wanted to see what, and from what I saw, the AI is not the brightest, bro. Okay.
I will say I will concede my point. I'll actually give you that point because I tried the stealth mechanic where you go invisible and try to run around. It's very basic. It's a basic bitch when stealth mechanics. Totally agree with you in that. I didn't play it like that at all. I played it like a Doom game. I was running out there, popping people in the face and shit with all different types of spells, comboing people. So that's
when you actually do the combat, it's fun. Like the different spells, it makes it matching. And there's like layers to it. Right, just right now, I would say what I've played, it's like a solid 8. Like I don't know what I needed to get it to like that 9-10 range, but right now it's a solid game.
I'm not saying if you finish this game and you said it's an 8 out of 10, I wouldn't even say you're wrong. I would clearly say, yeah, you're totally right. I think it's just because it's a Harry Potter.
You're a Harry Potter show. We get it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not even saying that. I'm just saying is that the faithful adaptation of it as a Harry Potter, it's done so masterfully. Like the score, the things that are in the game, the things you do in your main story quest. Like it's just like you just haven't seen those things in the movie. But if you did experience the movie, you'd be like, oh my god, like these are like it's like the best hits. Is there like every single moment, like whether it was like sneaking in the library, flying on a griffin, like all these things that were in the movies, they actually I made a new word. They materialize them into actual things that you do in the game. And I think that's what makes it, for me, that's what elevates it to a higher level.
Which word was new? You're cutting out. What did you say?
I don't...
Sit up on your mic, bro. Yeah, you gotta sit up on your mic.
Is this better?
Yeah.
I look like one of those YouTube commentators,
Yeah, just hold your mic up there.
Just hold their mic like this, yeah. I don't know how much was cut out.
I didn't hear whatever word.
I'm one of those nice
You said I made a word up, and the last thing I heard
was
was materialize. I was like, I've definitely heard the word materialize before.
Actuate? I'm pretty sure that's not a word.
I
just made up that word.
Yeah, just keep the mic close to yourself.
The actualization of materialization. That's
all right, bro. We got a poet in the room.
Oh, shit.
Ethos Angelo.
I'm sorry, my southern science is kicking in. I have to apologize. But no, I agree with what you're saying. I'm not as much as I'm saying like this is like a masterpiece for me personally. I think it's going to be a game of the year contender simply because outside of the controversy stuff, I would simply put it there because I think there's going to be no other game this year except for maybe one. I don't think any other game is going to sell and have that level of attention that Hogwarts had.
I wouldn't be shocked if Hogwarts Legacy gets nominated for Game of the Year. I don't think it would. I don't think it would.
I think it should be nominated, but do I think it's going to win? It's too early to be. It's too early. Okay, here's my question. Okay, if we started like right now, right, and it was like Hi-Fi Rush. I'm assuming Hi-Fi Rush and Hogwarts right now, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other games I'm maybe forgetting that might be on?
No, those are only two like big hitters that have came out so far this year.
Would you still say
this is Forspoken, and that's it right now?
You gonna nominate for
Dead
something?
Game.
I'm just saying it's all the other game they can be there.
If that gets nominated for anything, I would be actually shocked.
Nominated for poorest writing.
Yeah. At this current moment, would you say Hi-Fi Rush has it right now, or do you think Hogwarts has it?
We gotta circle back on that question. I gotta be Hogwarts first.
That'll be homework when you finish the game.
Yeah, I gotta circle back on that one. But I mean, it's without a doubt a good game. And anybody at bare minimum, I'll say anybody who's on the internet saying that it's not, they didn't play it. They're just hating because they got some type of agenda, which is weird in itself. One thing that it has been weird about Hogwarts Legacy is the conversation that, like, every time that I've streamed this game, people come in the chat, does it got multiplayer? Does it got multiplayer? They've been talking about this game for the last 2 or 3 years since they announced it, and every single time they said it's a single player RPG. And like, it's very frustrating to like play a game and people keep asking, does it have multiplayer? I'm like, yo, it goes to show you another example of how the internet is not the real world. Just because us three read the news and like a few of our listeners read the news, most people are really not that in touch with like certain things. Like, people go about their lives and they go to GameStop, they pick up the latest Call of Duty, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want anybody saying like taking it as like an insult, but like they've been saying this is a single player RPG for the longest, but people have been wanting multiplayer. Like you said, the Quidditch thing. I feel like
it's a console seller. It's definitely a console seller.
Like Madden.
Yeah.
I'm on fire today, boy. I'm on fire.
I'd say it's the actual console seller. I think there's like what you said, there's a lot of what do you call normies. Like, there are a lot of normal people who don't really play video games, but they're like they grew up on Harry Potter, who were just like, they asked me, they said, what's this Harry Potter thing? And I was like, yeah, it's Harry Potter game. And they're like, what do I gotta play it on? I was like, well, you need like one of the current gen consoles, because they didn't come out on PS4 and Xbox, which is wild. Can you, like, it sold this many copies and it didn't even have any of the backing of the old
keep in mind the PC version too. I feel like there's more PC gamers than ever.
I mean, yeah.
But even still, no, I'm almost
think about all the Steam decks out there, Ethos.
No, here's the thing. The biggest portion of people I think that are playing this game is PS5. Like, I'm almost positive it's actually.
Why does that shock you? There's not much to play on PS5, right?
I was just about to say that. Yeah,
since we beat Ragnarok, it's been dust.
This is the thing, right? It is a current console game that I'm pretty sure beat out Elden Ring. I think it beat out Elden Ring in sales. Elden Ring was a multi-plat console that came out on everything except for Switch. It came out on everything to achieve what it did. And this game just came out on 3 platforms.
Harry Potter is bigger than Soulsborne games.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That doesn't shock me.
I'm saying, but that's still like insane. Like,
but you're still trying to think about the scale of it's only on the current gen and PC. Yeah, that means 3 versus 5.
5, yeah, it's still massively insane. This will tie into the Ubisoft topic because I know you threw it in there.
Freaking. Well, I was gonna bring up the multiplayer. So like, it's not in the game. But I think one of the reasons Quidditch is not in the game is because I think they're just gonna save it for the sequel. That's gonna be the big selling point. But also a modder that worked on the multiplayer mod for Skyrim, he's creating a co-op mod for Hogwarts Legacy. It's called Hogwarts. It's currently in early testing right now. If you want to test it out, you got to go to his Patreon. It costs $20 a month. Eventually, he plans to release it for free to everybody. But if you want to get hands-on time early testing with this co-op mod, it is a thing. It's called Hogwarts. Just Google it. Do y'all care about potential of a co-op mod coming to Hogwarts Legacy?
I bought the wrong platform. Should have bought it on PC. Ready to purchase.
Wait, what'd you get it on?
You wanted to play it a day early.
Because I wanted to play it like 3 days early, so I bought it on the 5, and because I need to play it. So
all I had to do was wait 24 hours, loser.
No, it was like 3 days. It was 3 days.
No, it was 20. If you bought the deluxe edition,
it was 72 hours.
Listen to me, Ethos. I played the game on Tuesday.
No,
I played the game Tuesday. You played it on Monday. What are you talking about?
Can I just point out the fact that Ethos already beat it before both of us? Just goes to show
that's I know you're lying.
Hold on, let me finish. Just goes to show he's really not as busy. Oh, I'm a game developer. I be doing this, that, and the third. Yo, Hogwarts Legacy is a big ass open world game, bro. How did you beat it so quickly?
Because I told you, like I did with Cyberpunk, I don't care if a certain game comes out that I am looking forward to. I am going to siphon the time off, and I'm literally gonna lock myself away in my room. I'm not gonna leave until I beat the game. That's what I did. I literally every day I woke up, I played Harry Potter. I woke up, Harry Potter. That was all I did for like 4 days straight.
Bruh, this man didn't even wash his ass. Bro, he just got up in
sensational.
Oh, of course I took a shower. But
he don't care about this. He care about whatever major video game he's been waiting on. He cares about Magic. He cares about Digimon and get his game down.
He had the Hot Pocket adapter on his controller.
I was already. I'm telling you, I had the grub. I'm telling you, last time I did this, I told two bitches it was Cyberpunk, and you can ask any of my roommates back then. They did not see me for 3 days because the announcement of Mass Effect happened the day Cyberpunk. And I had no clue it was announced. And it wasn't until I came out of my room and people were like, hey, you know your game got a new sequel. I was like, what? They're like, Mass Effect. And I was like, what? And then
Actually, I remember that because it got reacted like hella late on Twitter. And everybody was like, where was Ethos at?
Spammed me. And I was like, yo, he's playing Cyberpunk. But it's the same thing. I do this with like a very select few games. It would be Mass Effect, Cyberpunk. If it's like something where it's really, really care about it, I'm just going to like go off the grid and like,
keep the mic close.
This guy, bro.
I'm taking the thing you said. I don't believe you.
First of all, back up so we can see you, and 2, keep the mic close so you keep cutting out.
Look. It's on a stand. You want me to hold it like this?
Yes. Time? Every time you talk, hold it.
How close? Oh, you know what? It's probably my Discord.
It's it's like cutting out as if there's I think it's attenuation. I think is on.
Yeah,
it's called.
It's probably my voice system. I bet you. Yep, that would do it. All right, I bet you it's good now. It was my bad. It was my. Discord.
You still lean it all in your damn monitor like you playing a game. Can't see you on camera. They want to see your ugly face. But yeah, co-op mod coming.
I'm playing again. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how this co-op mod would affect the story. Like, do both characters appear in the cutscenes and stuff, or is it just kind of there? Probably don't get to save your file either. It's just if you want to play with a friend. Meh. Does it do anything for you, Jay?
Nah, not really. Like, I don't care about Quidditch. Like, Quidditch was the last thing that I wanted to play.
You lying. I'm telling you now, on God, on everything. If they drop a multiplayer Quidditch mode in this shit with like actual housing and shit and like leaderboards based off your house, I guarantee you it's gonna be like.
Hold on. Would it be a disappointment for Hogwarts Legacy 2 if they put Quidditch in the game, but it's only like single player missions? Like, it's not. You can make a team and go online and play with people.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Having a multiplayer component where it's like a fantasy league or some shit, like a Madden, that's kind of like a pipe dream of like realistically probably not going to happen. As long as there's like a single player where you can actually like play Quidditch like in a season like against AI, I'll be satisfied. I'll be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. But if they did somehow turn it into like Rocket League or whatever it was, like, you know, co-op with your friends, play against 3 other actual people, I'm telling you now, I don't know if y'all knew this, but the amount of gang violence that is in like, I'm talking about the amount of like, I'm talking Crips versus Blood level of beef that people got against other houses is insane. And if you actually make a multiplayer game mode where you can, you know, fight each other, because on Quidditch you can actually beat the shit out of each other. Like, you can punch each other, you can kick each other's off each other's broom, you can knock them out of the sky and injure them. Like, in the movies, you could do some really dangerous stuff to people. So if they did that in the video game, no, it would definitely cause some beef. There'd definitely
this
be some
man talking about we got Crips, Bloods, the Third Street Saints in the Vice Lords.
For a second, go on TikTok and just go down the search engine, just go down the rabbit hole of Harry Potter houses and just watch the TikToks. I'm shit you not. The Hufflepuffs got beef with the Slytherins. The
bruh,
Slytherins are like on site. We go abracadabra every single
when
Hufflepuff.
He's not indulging in gun violence in Detroit. He's indulging in gun violence
I'm gonna tell you
in
right
Harry
now.
Potter.
I'll tell you right now. Shout out to my boy D-Man. He in Hufflepuff. He's one of the good ones.
Hey, hold on. What house y'all get? What house y'all get? Ethos, what house are you?
I'm a Slytherin. I told you.
What about you, Jay?
I got initially Gryffindor.
You a cop. You a cop.
Bro. I chose my house. F that, bro.
Would you join?
Slytherin.
All right. That's
all three of us got Slytherin. What the fuck?
No, he didn't. JG did. JG got the hat said he was a Gryffindor. He's lying to himself.
He's a Boy Scout head ass, boy.
Yeah, you a Boy Scout.
That's
bro. I told the chat which option I was going to choose. But then I chose another one. And by the way, if you want to look, I streamed the game on February 7th. I called the title, I heard the Brokies can't play this yet. I played it last Tuesday, bro. I put PC in the title. I played it last Tuesday.
Now,
the deluxe edition, you can play it on Tuesday.
You're capping. I just checked their website.
What are you talking about?
I just checked it right now. It says, Hogwarts Legacy Deluxe Edition includes 72-hour early access to the game. To get everyone in the game early access, the Legacy and Standard Deluxe for the PS4. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That's the next gen.
Those can't read.
He can't count or read.
No.
Detroit school system at work.
The current gen versions of the Deluxe were 72 hours early. We got to play the game 72 hours early.
Yeah, console people got to play it on Monday. I played it Tuesday.
No. If you just bought the deluxe edition, you get to play.
Yeah, the deluxe, and I bought the deluxe edition, so I played it Tuesday.
You played it early. You weren't.
Yes.
You played today. Okay.
Y'all sound like some Hufflepuffs. I ain't gonna lie.
You was making it sound like you played the game at launch. You did not play the game.
I'm trying to tell you, Ethos, you said I got the wrong version. I should have got the PC version, and I said because you didn't want to wait one day, bro. You didn't want to wait one day.
No. I got it on PS5 because you couldn't preload on PC, and I wanted to play that shit the moment midnight hit. And if you were on PC, you had to wait
till 1 p.m.
Yeah, you had to wait till the next day at 1 p.m. Yeah. I was like, I'm not waiting for this shit. I'm playing this shit at midnight. I'm not having people spoil it, which they were trying to do on Twitter. I wasn't gonna let people spoil me.
They weren't going in. Did you see that TV? They weren't going in with the spoilers.
Wait for this for
Hogwarts.
Oh yeah. No, that's it's the reason why I started co-streaming from Twitch to TikTok. And like before, like I was actually engaging with the TikTok chat, but somebody posted a spoiler in the TikTok chat. Like I banned him, and then he made another account. He made like 5 more accounts. He kept doing this shit. I was like, yeah, I'm done reading. Like I'm live on TikTok now, but I only read the Twitch chat now because I'm like they're uncivilized over there. They're uncivilized.
Activity, man.
Yeah. But I want y'all to notice another thing though. These February games. Is February like the new quarter 4? Is quarter 1 the new quarter 4? Because we got Elden Ring last year. We got Hogwarts this year. Black History Month, February. I don't know. There might be something.
Black people make it happen.
We're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens the rest of the year. But Hogwarts is definitely gonna be there. It's gonna be a contender for Game of the Year. That's for sure.
For sure. You know what game I think won't be a contender for Game of the Year? EA's new game called Wild Hearts. Wild Hearts is a Monster Hunter inspired action and adventure game where you get to create your own character and hunt. It's a Monster Hunter clone. You get to hunt big ass monsters. It's got 3-player online co-op. The one thing that makes this unique compared to Monster Hunter that they're selling people on is the engineering mechanic. So basically you're able to spawn contraptions out of thin air to help you fight monsters, and you go online, you build your character up, get more powerful, and fight bigger monsters. The game doesn't come out until actually, I believe, the 22nd or something like that. But like we got early access to it, like a whole week early access. I know me and Ethos played it. Did you get a chance to play, Jay?
No, sir. After hearing what you said, I ain't even bothered.
Look at this guy making excuses for why he doesn't play games. I just wanted you to confirm it. Ethos,
you damn right.
Ethos, JG doesn't play any games. You got some time with.
That's a shame.
You got some time with Wild Hearts. What's your take on EA's new Monster Hunter clone?
I think it's actually a pretty good game that is marred by technical issues, which is unfortunate.
Now your mic is really low. What's going on with you?
What?
It's because you're super far. It's because you're far away. You got to keep it close.
I'm not super far. This is that stupid Elgato. It can't be. Hold on, let me just check.
What are you talking about? We love Elgato.
Can you like edit to say like technical?
No. I'm just gonna talk while all right. So I played it while he figures out his mic. I played the game. Yeah. Even if this game did perform well, this is like a 7,
All right.
8 maybe at best. It's getting mixed reviews. People are saying that they like it, but then there's a lack of originality in it. It's just like another Monster Hunter game, and if you're a big fan of those type of games, you probably will like this. Just don't expect anything like crazy innovative about it. I played on PC and I had crazy performance issues to the point where like when I recorded a video, I was actually genuinely excited about this. Like I was really disappointed and like frustrated with it because like maybe the first 45 minutes of the game I played it, like it was running okay for the most part, but there was some little stuttering, but like it was playable. I was like, I can work with this, right? And then I got into the open area where I had to fight with the first like main boss, and the game just started playing in slow motion.
Was it the ice one or was it?
No, not the ice one. The big ass rat. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, when I got to that area, like the game just started moving in slow motion, and I was like, "Bro, I thugged it out and beat that boss," but I was like, "I can't play this game. This game needs to get patched." It's
one of those where it's like it's unfortunately one of those like it's like a cyberpunk thing where it's like you just have to put it on hold and be like, "All right, I'll just come back to this later." Like because I kind of want to still play this, but it's like it's just impossible for me to progress.
I'm just gonna turn you up in Discord because you're just.
Am I really? There's no way.
Yes,
you sound completely different.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I already got you at 90% too.
It's catching my voice. It's just what.
Yeah, but now it's because you're sitting back.
I'm not even sitting back. I'm actually not even sitting back.
But before you were leaning into the mic, though. That's the thing.
My mic is like. See how close that is?
Yeah,
like,
just hold it. Just freaking hold it. Make me do all this goddamn extra editing.
Let me tell you right now, I really like this.
Ridiculous, bro.
I really like this game. But I was gonna say, no, I totally get what you're saying. I feel like
you know what else sucks too? The visuals are ass in this game, bro. This crunchy ass looking game, freaking. I had it on ultra settings at first, and then I dropped it down to medium. There's literally no difference between the visuals.
Okay, I was playing the game on medium settings, so I was just like, maybe it's just because my game is on medium. Okay, so it's the same regardless on ultra.
It looks exactly the same, bro. It looks like an early PS4, late PS3 game. I'm like, why is this game so crunchy looking, bro?
Crunchy.
Like,
we should have a descriptor for like different graphical looks for the game. Like this game looks crunchy. This game looks like ashy.
It's ashy. I think that's what pissed me off about the performance issues so much. I'm like, I know this is running on an old ass engine because the graphics are not anything special. So I'm like, why is this game run the way that it does? So then I went on Google and I researched. I saw plenty of Reddit threads, people complaining. They got 3070s, 4090s. PC Gamer made an article, IGN GameSpot, like.
So this co-op probably don't work for shit either then.
Oh yeah, like it just runs like ass, man. Apparently the console version is better, but the PC version is very hit or miss. Homeless streamed it, she's big in the community, like a mod for us, and she quit. She told me that she got a headache from playing it because like it was just stuttering so much. And I was like, all right, I'm not crazy. It's not just me. I just wanted to make sure. So like this is one of those things, if you do get it, the console version seems like it's better. Just be wary of that PC version. It runs like basura. But go ahead, Ethos.
I have nothing to say. You just covered it all.
Well, I guess
that's
since
it.
JG doesn't play any games, we can move on here.
I don't like Monster Hunter or Wild Wars anyway, so I don't play it.
You don't like nothing.
I don't.
Except for bad games, which is our next topic.
Dudes ripping their shirts off, ready to fight each other.
Right. This man has played the same game 10 times over.
Hell yeah, I do.
With tattoos. If that's not the game, JG don't want to play it.
Yeah, this man only want to play bad games.
Are you playing Yushin, JG?
What kind of question is that?
I don't know. I mean, it's not.
I just got offered a code for that shit.
I know it's a samurai game, right? Like they got swords and shit now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you are gonna play it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I wasn't sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you not in the game? That's a better question.
Yeah,
I see all these fake influencers. Being why are you not a card? That's a real question.
My flow, bro. That's crazy.
Do I need to pick up my dev phone? Do I need to call those developers and let them know?
Yeah, my boy.
If they was gonna put you as a card in that game, what would your power be?
I don't even know.
Thick skull.
Oh, I can headbutt everybody.
Yep.
It's the ring, maybe, or
yeah, it could be. And I just
or Google. Why is not Google?
The power to, because Google's out. Bing,
computers back.
Bing's got shit now. Yeah, the power to Bing shit.
Yeah, computers in the time period. So.
Freaking, let's talk about another game that released since the last podcast. It's called Wanted Dead. I didn't want this game, so I ain't play it.
I'm dead on that. Go ahead, JG.
Yeah. So Wanted Dead, for those unaware, is a new action hack and slash game from some of the creators of Ninja Gaiden. I guess is a new development studio. They left that team. Was it Ninja Theory or Team Ninja? I always get those confused.
It's Team Ninja.
Team Ninja. Now they got their new studio and they made Wanted Dead. So tell us a little bit about this game. I know you played it, Jay. You've been hyping it up the last few podcasts. What's the hot take on Wanted Dead?
Yeah, so I mean, having really no expectations about the game, I pretty much got what I thought I was going to get. I thought it would be a little bit better, like story-wise and visual-wise, but I was kind of wrong. So as soon as you go into the game, just be ready for the combat to be one of the biggest selling points of the game, because story-wise, you're not going to really care about what's going on. The main character voice acting is really bad. A lot of the other characters that are in the game, voice acting is really bad. It's actually pretty laughable. We were definitely joking about it when I was playing it. I was like, I don't know what the hell was going on, but voice acting was really bad. The visuals are only okay. It's not anything breathtaking or anything. The combat, once you start upgrading, it gets a little bit better, but it's really just a lot more of what you would expect for Ninja Gaiden as far as like the difficulty. It's not a hack and slash by any means. Like, you can obviously hack and slash and shoot, but it's more of like you have to be more strategic about what you're doing when you're going into different battles. They want you to kind of get in, make sure that you're pressing the right buttons, chain attacks, and then move on. But there are definitely a lot of periods in the game where it just gets incredibly difficult for no reason with like regular enemies. And that's kind of what the Ninja Gaiden theory was. And that's why a lot of people revere Ninja Gaiden as one of like the hardest games, ever, because of just the difficulty spikes, random difficulty spikes throughout the game. So it's really like that. But again, it's just, the story is just so bad and the voice acting is so bad. It really becomes cringy at some point. They even had a loading screen that I don't know if you all pay attention to, Super Hi-Fi and Deshaun Raw, when they were doing the rap battles and Super Hi-Fi said something, dude was like, oh, and he was like going across the screen. They have that as a loading screen with like the characters in there, and I'm like, did y'all even ask this man?
So you think they paid him for that?
No, I highly doubt they paid him. I wish that we could hear like Deshaun Raw like say something if they paid him. But I'm like, bro, like, what are we doing here? There was a random mini game of me just eating ramen, and it went from a standard just rhythm press game to just extremely hard out of nowhere. And I'm like, why do I need to do this? Like, some of this stuff just is so out of place that I just don't understand. It's just like they just threw a whole bunch of stuff in the game and then just, slapped a bunch of combat on it and then just had crazy difficulty spikes and it's like, here, like, play this, happy Valentine's Day. Here's this gift to you. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's just really all out there. I can't say that I recommend it, honestly, unless like you like the Ninja Gaiden type games. But even still, I don't feel like you're getting the same experience from those games to this game. It kind of reminds me of like Ninja Gaiden mixed with that Lollipop Chainsaw game, which again, I don't know why DX likes that game, but their Lollipop Chainsaw game was trash back in the day. I don't know how anybody liked it.
It was trash. It was like a 5 or a 6.
It was trash.
Hell no, it was not. I don't know what we're talking about. DX be tripping about that game. I still don't know why he made another video talking about this was a good game. No, it literally, you even have a chainsaw in the game, which is pretty hilarious. And it reminded me of how it was in Lollipop Chainsaw. Like, it was just so many random things in here. I'm gonna continue to play through it just because like I don't want to be a quitter. I'm not gonna quit on this, but I can't recommend it.
You was right. I came in your stream. You was talking about refunding it. You just mad you forgot.
I almost did.
He's mad that he forgot he passed the 2-hour threshold.
I didn't forget.
So since he was 3 hours in, he's like, I can't refund it. I'm gonna just play it.
I didn't forget. I didn't forget. I'm gonna trudge through it. I didn't forget, bro. Huh?
And how long is this game?
They said it was about like between like 8 to 10 hours.
So so like 20 for him because he ain't good at the game. So
I mean, it don't got stealth in it, so he should be fine.
True.
Oh, it does have stealth? Oh, yeah.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't.
I was going to say, then you add extra like 5 to 10 hours if it does have stealth.
I know TBH ain't talking, mister. I don't know why this made me act like he's an expert gamer. Like, this man always be trying to talk about skills. This is why we have a tier list. We
throw a
would not
puzzle
go
at
back to
him.
Elder Ring, sir. This is
Very consistent in what I do. Very consistent.
very consistent at being average. It's okay.
Until they throw a puzzle.
No. The only thing you need to question is how someone magically just had the best build to defeat Melania after he ducked.
Melania? What Melania? Trump's wife is
I was calling Melania. Not Melania.
This man lying on the pod again. Ace saying the name incorrectly.
Ace already has beat those allegations, so we can't say that no more.
We had the best build to beat him.
It's slander. It's slander. We gotta let that go.
We know with that.
Well, let's talk about a game that's actually good and it's making a comeback. I don't think y'all played it though, but Apex Legends Season 16.
Fuck this game.
Ito big hating on this now.
Game.
Oh, why you hate Apex so much now?
You know I fucking hate this game.
No,
you missed it too. You didn't add it in the delayed and dead games. You didn't add it in the list.
Oh, are you? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Are you saying Apex is dead?
No, I'm not talking about Apex. I'm talking about what it fucking killed. Those bastards.
Oh, wait, what did it kill? I'm lost.
They killed my Titanfall.
Because you remember because of the story they got killed. So Apex Legends didn't get killed, but
Legends.
the single player story.
Well, hold up. That game that they canceled said it was in the Apex universe, not the Titanfall universe.
It said the Titanfall and Apex universe. Did you read the plot synopsis of that game?
Nah, what was it?
It was only going to be a Titanfall.
It was Titanfall 3. BT was going to come back from the dead, and all the legends were going to help Cooper out. I'm so fucking mad.
They was gonna give him robots though. Like,
what's her name? What's the Indian girl in Apex?
I don't know. I always call her Rampart.
Rampart. She fixes BT. She's the one that repairs BT and brings him back. And Pathfinder is in the campaign. Like they all you run into each of the legends that are in Apex, and they help you out in the campaign. And
we'll get a Titanfall 3 one day. We're
not. We're not.
No, it's gonna happen when Respawn.
That was the Titanfall. That's the game I wanted. That's literally the game I wanted. Everything I wanted was everything they described in there was what I wanted in a Titanfall 3. Everything. And they took it from me.
I didn't think we'd be joined by a toddler this episode. JG, what do you think about this news?
Fuck that. No, I don't give a fuck. Fuck Apex. I'm glad that TDM mode's a piece of shit. I hope y'all are like, that's cheap.
I like it.
That's a piece of shit. That's shitty fucking map design. How you playing a TDM game where they don't even let you have custom loadouts? Fuck that game mode. That cheap ass team. How do you fuck up TDM?
Why is TDM trash?
Because the maps were not even customized for TDM. Half those damn maps are fucking ass for TDM. They don't fucking work. The legends, some of the abilities don't even work well in a TDM setting. And then on top of that, they don't even give you custom loadouts. You got to use preset ones. The fuck? How's that a TDM experience? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
Me and Siggy was having fun with it.
You and Siggy like garbage. That shit is trash, okay? Fucking crazy. You guys like raccoons.
I like Elden Ring. I like Elden Ring. So I guess garbage.
Fucking garbage. Fucking garbage. I don't want to hear this.
Anyway,
that fucking game is garbage. I'm gonna tell you, that game has done more harm than help. Okay, that game is fucking garbage, bro. And that's sad that your game finally got people to come back to it because it's TDM, and you're playing a watered down wannabe version of Titanfall. Then you fucking nerds have the audacity to then be running around talking about playing Advanced Warfare and a bunch of other shooters because we want fast movement. We want to be able to slide and jump. This shit too slow. When there's literally a game on the market that provided you with all that shit, with a crazy awesome skill ceiling and fucking mechs, and we lost it for what? Boots on the fucking ground where you can slide around with big booty Loba. Thanks. Fuck y'all. Fuck. I'm out of here, bro. Fuck
Ethos came to tell the truth tonight, bro. Ethos came to tell the truth.
Did he though? Because he said that Apex was a dead game, yet the numbers are at an all-time high. The numbers,
which is crazy.
The numbers, for those of you unaware, with Season 16 have broken new records, with concurrent players being over 600,000 on PC alone. So there are damn for sure millions of people playing between all the different platforms. So the game is definitely not dead. And do you know why the game is not dead? It's because Season 16 did not feature a new character, but it did rework a lot of things, mainly the class system. So now there's an assault class, controller, recon, skirmisher, and support, and they all have new perks and abilities that completely made it a new game. Now, one thing I do agree with what Ethos was saying is the maps are 50-50 with the TDM. Some of them I don't like. Some of them work better than others. But when it hits, it is fun, and it was a nice change of pace. And also, it's a temporary mode. They're going to add other stuff. Now, I do want to see a Titanfall. But did we just not have a conversation about giving credit when credit's due? Ethos did not. Oh, we didn't?
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Anybody listening, rewind the tape.
Fuck that.
What's the name? I would
Fuck
love to
that.
see a Titanfall, but I'm also going to acknowledge that they've made a conscious effort to try to improve the game, and the community seems to love it. I've seen overwhelmingly glowing reviews for this season so far. So
How long y'all gonna play it for? How long you gonna play it for?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. How long is that gonna play? How long y'all gonna play it for? How long before it becomes a Rumbleverse?
I might play it tonight.
You think it's gonna last a season? Y'all really think y'all be hyping that shit?
Well,
up for a reason?
I think the season is the blueprint going forward for how they want to, because that's the reason they didn't implement a new game. So I think if they stick the landing for this season and they finish strong, I think the game will be okay for at least another year. I don't know, because like everything comes to an end.
Game is fucking boring.
Nah, Ethos said, forget being an EA shield, bro. I'm telling the truth.
That's
just
crazy.
the fucking truth. I'd tell it right to EA. I'd tell it to Respawn. I'd tell it to, I forgot his name. Whatever his name is. I forgot his name. But whatever.
That guy at EA.
The main dude, the head honcho at Respawn, bro. God bless, bro. Because you definitely. Yeah, Vince. I'd tell it straight to Vince's place, bro. That shit is a fucking piece of garbage, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. I'm sick and tired of this fucking game. This game has done more harm than help in this game, bro. Oh my god, I cannot describe how much seething hatred I have for Apex now. I do not like that game anymore. I think it's up there with. Yeah, it might be up there with Last of Us. It's pretty. I'm
gonna
much
post
up
some
there.
clips of you having fun playing that game.
Yeah, do you know how long ago that was? You know how far back you're gonna have to go to find those clips?
Like a year.
Because I'm telling you,
COVID makes it seem like it was longer. It wasn't that damn long ago.
Nope. I'm pretty sure I dropped that game and then asked Siggy. Every time Siggy tried to get me to come back for a season to play with him, I'm telling you, it's just me upset the entire time. I just don't like that game, bro. I don't like the mechanics of it. The third partying is ass, and it's because it's as a designer, it is fundamentally flawed. That game is fucking flawed because they added all this fucking pseudo movement in the game, and the sound is fucking terrible in that game. The fucking sound,
I agree.
It's fucking garbage.
They still ain't fixed that shit. I agree.
And when was the last time they made a good BR map for that game? Think about that. When was the last time there was a good one?
Yeah, I played the new one. That was because I didn't play last season. So this is my first time playing that new map. That shit is ass. It is ass.
Now, think about this. You're talking about the people that made the Titanfall 2 and 1 maps. Some of the greatest FPS maps I've ever played on. How do you go from that to making Apex maps? I don't understand. I don't know if maybe they moved on and went to a different studio. These are not the same people. Because I'll call Black. I'll phone a friend right now. I'll 1-800. I'll call Black right now. And Black will reach right now and tell y'all. Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2 had some of the greatest design maps ever. I'll never forget. Titanfall 1 had some of the most amazing
It didn't
design
sell well. And what does EA like? The Skrilla, the money.
Bro, I hate this world.
So
sucks.
just buy a few shards, buy a few packs.
Fucking shards.
The shit that gives you the heirlooms. Get a few of them.
I'm pretty sure EA has me on a blacklist because I have not gotten one heirloom out of that damn game, and I've played it. I'm pretty sure I have like a couple 100 hours on it back in the day, and I didn't draw one. And there's people out here running around with 3 heirlooms like Siggy.
It's because you're not worthy. That's why.
You're right. EA's probably blocking me from the box.
Since you wanted to rant about things that suck, let's move on to something else that sucked. It sucked so much that Sony Santa Monica decided to scrap it. So the original draft for God of War Ragnarok storyline has been put online. The director of the game actually had an interview, and he spilled the beans on it. So here's the original story for God of War Ragnarok, not the one that's in the game. So basically what happens in the game is at the beginning, Kratos was going to die, but it wasn't going to be a permanent death. At some point, Atreus would get the ability to reach down into hell where Kratos is, and he's going to pull Kratos out of hell. But when Kratos comes out, 20 years have passed. So I don't know if Atreus is like an old man at this point or like in his 30s or something like that. And then like the story would progress from there. We had a little bit of an interesting conversation right before the stream, the actual recording of this started. And I didn't even realize it. I just read the article and I was just like, I didn't think much of it. But both Ethos and JG had some interesting thoughts and theories about this original storyline for Ragnarok. So what were you saying, JG? What were you comparing this to?
I mean, shout out to Sony Santa Monica for not doing this, because this would have legit been like The Last of Us 2 if they would have went with this story. I think people would have lost their freaking minds if this story would have went how it went. Now, the only thing that they would have had with this story, because you can't bring Joel back because it's not in the fantasy Norse mythology world, but the only thing they had was that Kratos could come back. But other than that, I think that if Kratos would have died in the beginning of this, it would have legit had the same storyline. It would have had the same part. Like, imagine playing Atreus the majority of the game, and then Kratos comes back because he ends up finding his way to hell to save him. I think that would have been a really bad game. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think they would have been able to save this one. I think that critically they probably would have rated this very low compared to God of War 2019. I don't think it would have worked at all. So shout out to them for scrapping this one. I like what they ended up doing with the final story that we have now. But yeah, it would have been like Last of Us 2 all over again because people lost their freaking minds once Joel got clapped.
And what about you, Ethos?
Yeah, you know how we said that joke about how like Sony's been making the same game for the past like 7 years, and it's just been like with different skins of it. Yeah, like I think this would have just been more like fuel to the fire. Been like, yeah, they just basically made Last of Us 2. I mean, we were talking about before the podcast how like there are definitely similarities between God of War and Last of Us, just from a base level of here's the person you play as, the main character Kratos or Joel. They're like old men who are kind of past their quote unquote prime, and they did a bunch of terrible stuff the time before the events of the game, and it haunts them and gives them nightmares. And then they are introduced to some younger individual who basically they have to go on a quest with, and that younger person kind of like unhardens their heart, and then the child likewise learns a lot from that like kind of like father figure. It's the same type of setup, same story. One's just in like what you say, like in an apocalypse with zombies, and the other one, you're fighting, in Norse mythology type people. So, yeah, I agree with JG. Glad they didn't do it. I think it would have been received a lot differently. I think the saving grace would have been because Kratos wouldn't have died permanently. He would have came back. So I think people would have been more forgiving to it. But I'm not gonna lie, if I had to play potentially like 10 hours of Atreus before he got the sword, like when he just had the bow.
That's what I was literally just about to say.
Lost my mind.
The death of Kratos wouldn't have bothered me. The Atreus sections actually didn't bother me as much as it bothered you. But to play the whole game as him, then I would have been like, it's called God of War. I don't.
Atreus's saving grace was when he got the sword. Then it added up more stuff that you could do. But I'm talking about the initial part where you start playing as Atreus and all he has is that.
Oh, it's just the shot.
And the plunk. If that was like initially all you had with Atreus for like the first couple of hours, I'm pretty sure I would have dropped I would have been bored out of my mind, kind of like how I was with Last of Us 2. I would have just straight up paused the game and put it on hold and then played it.
Boy of Bow is what it would have been called.
I would have been bored out of my mind. And I can imagine a lot of people would be pissed too. It's like if Thor had killed him like off rip and been like, yeah, you're dead. And you'd be like, wow, like all the combos, all that cool stuff just gone. Now I got to play this little boy running around.
Like imagine that part. Imagine that part with Thor killing and brought her back. Like, I'm not done with you yet. If you would have died for real.
Imagine now, like, then they'd have to add more of those parts where you was in the you was with the black girl. Like, imagine you had to do more of that. 3 more sections of that. I would man. I'd have quit the game. I honestly would have dropped the game at that point. Oh man. So yeah, smart on them. Glad they didn't do this.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
The dragging him out of hell part was cool, though. I think that would have been cool if it was implemented a different type of way. I think if they had to like maybe get somebody else out of hell, I think that would have been kind of harder. But
I would like to see more studios actually do this. Like after a game comes out, like share like original scripts, just for like conversation, just to see kind of like the thought process of where they were going with the game and where they landed and why. I think that would be cool.
You want me to give you one for Samurai Zero?
No. Oh my goodness. Samurai Zero wishlisted on Steam.
Wishlist on Steam. There you go. It comes out.
It's a real game, unlike the day before.
It's a real. Yo, I was gonna say people make Samurai Zero jokes of it coming out, but I'm like, hey, I'm pretty sure y'all was able to play it. Like you genuinely were able to put your hands on it and play the game. I don't know what's going on with that game. That's game,
still one of the most
crazy,
unintentionally funny storylines I've ever seen. Fake game, like what?
It's literally the Trump game. Yeah. Fake game.
I've never heard of a fake game before, but I think it actually is.
I remember I watched one Twitter thread where they were responding, like they were just like they showed a video of the dude, like an image of him playtesting, I guess, like, on a computer playing it. And so I was like, "We need you." It was crazy. It was like a demand list. This Twitter user put a hole with check marks and said, "We need you to live stream this game, and I need you need to show us the inventory system, you moving around, first person and third person shooting,
weapon
the AI, weapon recoil, the different gun customization, the gunsmith." And I'm talking like it was like a list. I'm like, damn, you don't even ask AAA people to do this. Like you got. And on top of that, we need you to show the person playing the game, and you got to show us their hands while they're playing. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That's what happens when you make a fake game. They own your ass, boy.
So wait, so here's the thing. Do you think it's actually a real game? Like, do you think it actually exists, or do you think it's like
I I don't
Like,
think it's a real game because not because like the gameplay and stuff that they've shown. I think they have probably like some type
that
of
girl was thick.
Oh yeah, they were calling it the thick.
That
before.
woman was thick.
I think they.
I was like,
damn.
damn.
I think they have some type of vertical slice. So I don't think the game is 100% fake, but I think as a whole it's fake because the excuse that they gave of why the game was taken down. They said that the reason they got taken down is they didn't trademark the name, and I'm like, I refuse to believe anybody's stupid enough.
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
That's
like
bullshit.
you didn't think to claim the name before announcing the video game.
I claimed Samurai Zero literally like almost like 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. Like, there's no way you were planning, and after you got that much popular, like the moment your game got popular, the first thing you should have done if you had any sort of brain would have been like, we need to trademark this. Like that. That's
before even an announcement website, you should have claimed that name. So I don't think the game is real because of that for legal reasons.
But even then, I don't believe that stops you from, demoing it or doing something. I don't think that
they could change the name of the game, and just demo the shit. Yeah,
fishy.
Could call it the day after or some shit. Anyways, other news. Sony's upset with Microsoft. The war is really heating up right now between. So for those of you unaware, I feel like we talked about like the last 3 podcasts, but for those unaware, the deal with Activision, Blizzard, and Microsoft has not gone through, and the reason being is Sony and Microsoft are locked in a legal battle in the EU. Sony's trying to block them because they're trying to argue basically monopoly. And in the process of getting this whole case together, Sony is now accusing Microsoft of obvious harassment because Microsoft wants to see Sony's paperwork. They're demanding performance reviews from Sony's leadership. Even in employment cases, courts require specific showing of relevance before requiring production of personnel files. This is not an employment case. That's what Sony is saying. And then on the flip side, Microsoft ends up admitting that the Xbox Game Pass hurts their software sales in some documents that they released for this actual court case. So one of the arguments that Sony was making is with them owning these studios and putting it on Game Pass, they're monopolizing things. And then Microsoft is like, well, no, when we put things on Game Pass, it don't even sell well. I feel like this shit is capped. This is them trying to defend their asses. And then another reason I think it's capped too is because Hi-Fi Rush came out and it outsold Forspoken. And Hi-Fi Rush had no real promotion, and Forspoken had like 2 years of promotion. So it still sold well on PC, but they're claiming Game Pass is hurting. I think it hurts it a little bit, like initially, but if people really want the game and they don't have Game Pass, they're gonna buy it if it's interesting. But how y'all feeling about all this latest Microsoft drama, them trying to pick up their latest Infinity Stone? They're really struggling to get this one because people are there's no way they're gonna be able to get the Ubisoft one if they don't get this one. How you guys feeling?
I mean, it's funny because we don't know how long this is going to last, and the fact that like every little new bit of information that we're getting now, Microsoft is apparently asking for Sony paperwork, which again, I don't know exactly why. Like they're asking for performance reviews, but why though? Like I don't even understand why you would be asking for Sony's performance reviews. Yeah, like it is hella petty. It's like Microsoft broke? At this point. It's like, yeah, it's like let me find something. Like let me show you how, like, if you produce this, that even if we don't get Activision Blizzard, you're for sure not going to get Activision Blizzard because you're not doing this as well as we are, and we have Game Pass, and we are more capable of doing better with this company than you would if you got it. So like all of this is just getting petty, but these are the typical like white collar fights that people have. Like we're thinking about like at a surface level, like, oh, we're going to blow like fist for fist the blows or Twitter fingers online, but these are the type of petty battle that the big dogs have when they don't like what each other is doing. So I just find it utterly hilarious. But what I also wanted to point out, and again, this is why we always say that the internet is not real and Twitter is not real. Everybody had a whole shitstorm about Bobby Kotick and everything that was going on at Activision Blizzard, but guess who's still retaining his role? Bobby Kotick. So nobody wanted to talk about that. This man is still in his role, and it wasn't that the reason why everybody was ready to boycott Activision and not play any Call of Duty games, any Overwatch games, because they would say, oh, he needs to get out, and if Microsoft gets Activision Blizzard, oh, they're going to kick him out, right? Nah, this man, like, they thought they were just going to give him a severance package and send him on his way. This man is still in the role. So what are we talking about here? Like, this is all just dumb. At the end of the day, it doesn't even matter if Microsoft doesn't get Activision Blizzard, if Bobby Kotick is still going to keep his freaking role, then what is the point of any of this?
People don't actually care. We've been over this. Like I said, the protest for Hogwarts Legacy, that lasted I don't even think it lasted a week. It's pretty much died down. I don't see nobody bitching about that shit no more.
No, they're done. They realized they couldn't win. It's like, you're fighting a battle that you didn't even understand what the true purpose was. Like, what was your true motive here? You said, okay, I don't fuck with J.K. Rowling and what she said. Okay, fine. We all understood that. None of us do, which is the crazy thing. None of us do.
What do you do in the case of? I was thinking about this, especially about the Hogwarts thing. This is something that really kept me up late at night. I was really thinking about this, staring at my ceiling. I was like, if I was on the side of this whole boycott thing, let's say I was a heavy activist about this problem, right? And I really, really, really was like one of those people that was like frontline, whole paragraph, making an article talking about, why you shouldn't support this game. And then one day I wake up and I check Twitter and I see my boy Benji Sales posting the sales numbers, and he's saying that this game is going to absolutely explode from like a number standpoint, and like every single day it's just another like affirmation that Hogwarts is breaking sales records. More and more people are playing. It's the number one Steam pre-orders. It's now outselling this game. It's now outselling it now has the most amount of people watching it on Twitch. And like everything that I was fighting to try to stop, and like even like try to like actively like stop people from doing, it seems like it's blowing up my face. Like what do you feel like you do in that case? Like even with like the Bobby Kotick stuff, like do you go back and you like
go to therapy?
Do you self-reflect? Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, do you reflect on like what did I do wrong? Like obviously, like I failed. Like it's just straight up. There's no scenario in my brain unless you're like delusional where you're like, hey, like it worked, or yeah, we did a good thing. Like I think at that point it's just like, do I have to accept that there's potentially like millions upon billions of people that just don't give a fuck about my cause?
You have to go to therapy,
or
bro. Like
or like what do you do? How do you accept that?
Social media has made it to where a lot of people just lack self-awareness. Narcissism is on the rise, and like this is actually like another example of it, to where they think they can force people to care about what they care about. Like you don't care about anything that I'm doing, and now all of a sudden you want me to care. And then on top of that, you're not even 100%. You don't even 100% know what's going on with the issue and like everybody's take on it. So it's like it's hard to make people. It's funny, like there's somebody in my personal life I had a conversation about this, and I was like, people got to understand, if you really want people to care about your cause, you'll get much further in life with honey than vinegar. And the problem is too many people on the internet are they're spouting vinegar, and it's like you got to lead with love. To make people understand it, because if you just shout at people, they're just gonna put something in their ears and block that shit out.
Khalif was saying a good thing, like on his podcast. Shout out to the Spawn on me. He was saying that too. He was saying like there's a very important. He's like, unfortunately with this stuff, like he's like, and this is one of the things that I was like, I completely agree with him. He was telling me how there, especially with these type of like boycotts, whether there's like Kotick or anything else, it's like there's never a sort of retro. Like when I was in corporate America, one thing we always did was at the end of like a sprint of us like working on stuff for like tech stuff, we would have a retro, which is basically where we would sit back and we would reflect on what we did the past 2 weeks, what worked really well, what didn't, and how we improve. And I feel like that never happens with like discourse like this. I feel like it just, like what you said, like what JG just said, it dies out in a week because no one really cares. Like it doesn't matter. It's all just, whether it's like virtue signaling or people who genuinely care, it all is in the middle. And then nothing there's never a sort of like reflection moment. There's no retro where people are just like, okay, maybe we should have like what you said, like maybe maybe next time, or maybe we should.
What's a reality check?
Go after our own like people, or like or like maybe I am in such a minority that what I did was. It's
a reality check in a sense that like I always talk about. There's a difference between, because like a lot of people on Twitter, they'll have like 50,000, 100,000 followers. And like I always say, there's a difference between having
they'll get like 50,000 likes on a tweet for this.
There's a difference between having a lot of followers and having actual influence. Like they can like our podcast may not do the biggest numbers, but we have actual influence. Like how many people have said they've gotten into PC gaming because of us?
I mean, stuff Discord.
So it's like they have that epiphany. You don't have that actual influence. And then in terms of like what's the actual solution, like I don't know, freaking like I said, leading more with kindness and stuff. You can't preach tolerance by being intolerant. That's fucking hypocritical.
Yeah. No, I agree with Ethos. I think a lot more people need to actually reflect. So again, take your example. If you were super on the side of I don't like J.K. Rowling, and I feel like if anyone plays this game, that is harming not only me, but other trans people and anybody else who may feel some type of way. But look at what happened. You screamed at everybody. You started playing the oppression Olympics, because not only were you saying, oh, well, if you are another race, you need to also, be an ally.
Yeah.
You started harassing other people who either did not care about it or said, hey, I understand, but I'm still going to play the game because I want to, because I actually think that this is a good game. You started harassing everybody. You made a whole freaking website essentially calling out people who played the game, who you follow, so you can unfollow them.
Yeah, man, you took the social. Now I gotta bring it up. Hold up, now I gotta bring it up since you want to reference it.
Sorry. No, I know. I mentioned it.
What's the name? Yeah, this man is talking about somebody built a whole website to basically snitch on anybody. If you go search a streamer's name, it'll tell you whether or not they played the Hogwarts Legacy game. So this dude was trying to expose people. This man spent all this time making this website. But go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, so again, you're fighting harassment with more harassment. So again, all of these things that happen, and none of them worked. You made people. You literally got to a point where you literally got to a point where people were like, oh, you don't like this game. You're trying to get other people that don't like this game. Then they start pulling up other tweets about you, saying some crazy stuff. Like it's so many other.
Here's another angle. Are you really fighting? Are you really fighting harassment with harassment? Because I'd argue most people might have just not even been, like, we literally talked about. You said it earlier, Ethos, like people were coming up to you. What's this Hogwarts game? They don't even know about J.K. Rowling, and you're just assuming everybody. Yeah. And that's why it's important to lead with understanding versus just fucking yelling at everybody, right?
Exactly. I can't even name a person who had an issue that even knew what J.K. said. Like, it's not hard to Google and go back to see like her tweets and what was going on, but nobody could even properly convey what J.K. even said that made everybody so upset. And again, one of the main things that I found an issue with is when people talking about, financially supporting her when playing this game, but nobody cared about any of the developers. They just assumed that they all, because they made this game, because they took the IP, that they cared or stood on the same side as JK. Two things can be true. You could not mess with what someone says, but also want to enjoy the product. And if this person did not have anything to do with it, but you're trying to, again, essentially boycott the game because you don't want somebody to get some money when they're already super freaking rich, they already got your money because you were a fan of the other previous things. How is just this one thing going to hurt somebody? It's not. They already got your money. They already won because they already got the money for the IP in the first place. And people pointed that out. And again, it doesn't make any sense.
I agree too, because I really thought about this. I was like, where was all this animosity for like the Lego versions of Harry Potter? Like, why when PlayStation was giving them away for free? I literally got the whole collection like I think 2 months ago. They were free on PlayStation. So I was like, why didn't I never hear? I didn't see this backlash for like when Sony was trying to give these away for free. Where was like all the people on Twitter like, do not download this game on Sony because it's bad.
Here's another angle for you.
Where are the people for Universal?
This is something that I think about. People pick and choose what they are mad at because they have an agenda they're trying to cloud up. I think that plays a role too. Oh, motherfuckers is mad at this shit. I can get my numbers up on this. Let me tweet about this. And it goes back to, do you really care?
Yeah, because if you genuinely care, like I remember I was watching the thing that Mighty Keith, he did a video. I was like, yeah, like I completely agree with his point. Was like, if you genuinely cared about that, like why, like these are same people that are just like, yo, in one breath you're saying this, but then you're over here playing Overwatch 2, or you're streaming Call of Duty. It makes you look really bad. Or like if you really cared about this, but like you went to Universal Studios and like the theme park, or better yet, like why are you not out there boycotting the theme park? Like, that would be genuinely, that's the thing that annoys me, is that like there's nothing wrong with like protesting stuff like that. like I think it's totally viable and it's totally like your right to do, but I was like, you should be like, doing Twitter fingers isn't solving the problem. It doesn't solve real world problems. I was like, why are you not in, like, why would you not organize like, hey, we're gonna organize something where we're gonna go to Universal in Orlando or whatever it is, wherever it is, and we're gonna boycott, we're gonna be in front, we're gonna protest this thing until they don't put Harry Potter's thing in that camp. Or like some other examples, like she has a bunch of contracts with Legos. Why are you not like sending all these sort of messages towards the like Lego CEO and telling them to drop her branding inside of their Legos thing? I haven't heard of this at all. Maybe it happens in small game, but I didn't ever see that type of thing with like thing that was happening. Like these, all these different things, like, and that's not even considering like all different aspects that like she potentially like has contracts with or she has deals with that I've never once seen this level of like just targeted. Seems like unified, like not even unified. I wouldn't even say it was unified. Like, you know, just like it seems like it was all like grown together and all targeting. Like, all right, we're gonna go this week and we're gonna, you know, hit this thing hard. And it's like,
listen, man,
it just didn't add up.
BP spilled oil in the fucking ocean, bro.
Yeah,
y'all still putting BP in y'all car, bro. Stop driving, walk, just walk. Since we hate everything, bro. The reality is that you participate in capitalism, some evil shit is gonna happen, unfortunately, bro.
It's like you can't avoid it. It's hard. Like you would literally just have to like not go out your house. But I bet you it's a whole bunch of things in your house right now that if you truly knew like who made it and what they stood for,
your smartphone.
Well, that's what exactly.
Have you read about Foxconn when they be making these iPhones and these Samsung phones and shit like that, bro? They be slaving them away. Y'all don't care.
And then COVID locking them away. COVID factory. They're like TikTok. You're using TikTok, and like China is actively, their government is actively like committing genocide over there. Like it's just like there's a bunch of like very, very bad stuff that happens in the world. And yeah, it's because mostly capitalism. It requires you have to be a part of it. I totally get that. I totally understand that political take that justification. But like it's the same shit about the Twitter shit. It's like, how can you be on twitter.com bitching about this thing when literally the literal CEO and owner of Twitter is literally someone who makes fun of pronouns, who literally makes fun of trans people, whose own child is trans and who has disowned him. And then the worst part is that then this person is literally saying is that like, I don't need you to be paying for the site. It doesn't matter. You being a part and actively doing discourse on my site is helping advertisers want to come in because it's numbers. You're helping the statistics.
It goes back to what I said earlier. I think some people genuinely do care, and then I also think there's a good portion of people who have co-opted people's
I think there's good people
where they're just trying to cloud up off of people. But I always say, listen, man, Black lives matter until you disagree with motherfuckers.
Until you disagree. Joe.
That's why I don't give a fuck. My life matters until I disagree. I said on stream, I said when Hogwarts Legacy drops, I said I dropped a royalty-free playlist for content creators to use, and hardly anybody supported that shit outside of my own audience and like GI. Like they showed it love, but a lot of content creators didn't show me love. None of them news outlets showed me any love. I said if I play Hogwarts Legacy and they start posting clips of me, I said that's the shit I be talking about, and that's why I be minding my fucking business, because motherfuckers don't care about you, bro. They just want to try to get a clip up off you and try to push whatever agenda they got.
Yep. But going back to your original question, Ethos, bro, just turn your freaking phone off. I don't know what else you could do at that point. Like, if you feel so strongly about it, just turn your phone off. Get off Twitter, bro. What that man Tyler said, bro. It's like he's like, how somebody bullying you online, bro? Close the fucking laptop, bro.
Close your laptop.
That ass. I just be scrolling the timeline. I definitely feel like I'm getting old now. I'll just be like, yo, shut up. You niggas losers, bro. Go outside, man. Ant-Man came out. Be mad about that. That shit supposedly sucks, bro. It's a movie. Let's talk about that. I'm really dreading seeing that movie. I bought the tickets for that shit.
I'm actually kind of terrified because I think I might see this movie.
I seen Saving the Bees. I seen Saving the Bees tweet about it. He said, I was like,
that's the weird part, right? Like I'll see something from Bees. Like I trust these people's opinion, right? So I see Bees tweet about it. Like, and usually like whatever he's usually been in, like I like or don't like. Usually I've been on a same thing with wavelength as him. But then like I see D-Man say like, oh, I think it was pretty good too. And I'd be like, I agree with a lot of times D-Man's takes on some stuff. So then I'm like, okay, I'm so conflicted. Then I see other friends are like, oh, this is like an 8. This is a 7. Then I see people like, this ain't it. And I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. I feel like because the reviews are everywhere, it's probably going to be a weird.
6. That's where it usually ends up for me, like a 6.
I just pray to God it's not like Thor. I just pray to God I don't have the same feeling I did about Thor, because I don't think I can experience, like, especially with Jonathan Major. If that movie feels like how Love and Thunder felt, I'm gonna be disappointed if they underutilize that man.
Yeah. So, we've been talking about a lot of like really heavy shit. I didn't actually expect to go on that tangent.
Yeah, it's a lot of
let's talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. Let's talk about armed robbery. GameStop. GameStop. Yeah, armed robberies are at an all-time high at GameStop. Apparently, in the month of February 2023 alone, there's been 12 armed robberies at GameStop in Southern California, which is pretty much the LA area. Yeah, they definitely be robbing out here. And then 30 other stores have been hit across the country. What's the name? And it's gotten so bad that the CEO of GameStop is now offering a $5,000 cash prize to anybody who will come forth and snitch. Will you two be snitching?
Fuck them.
I ain't no snitch.
Fuck them. First of all, these motherfuckers been robbing us since we were teenagers with that damn buy used or sell your games to them. So imagine how much money they stole off of us as teenagers, and then now they're gonna hand it back to us for a reward for us to snitch. Nah, bruh. Fuck them. They deserve to get robbed. I said it. Fuck that corporation.
Hey, they saw games up. They said y'all are walking lick right now, boy. We about to cloud up. Give me the PS5. You still can't find them in some stores. Give it to us.
I feel bad for like the employees because that shit sucks. But at the same time, fuck GameStop. I think the interesting thing about this story is what exactly are they stealing? Because I know ain't no money in them cash registers. Don't nobody shop there.
PS5, bro. They said they were stealing PS5. They want the consoles.
Here's the thing. Have you been in a GameStop recently? GameStop, it's mostly Funko Pops in that bitch, bro. And that's why I was like, what the fuck are they stealing? I missed the PS5 part. Okay.
Yeah, they just going to the back and taking them joints. They're definitely not in the front.
Every time I go to GameStop, all I see is Funko Pops, Minecraft diamond swords, and them boxes with the TVs in it that you can hook your console up that nobody buys.
I walked in there, bro. I bought some Magic cards. I was like, wait, I was confused. I was like,
cell phones in there and shit.
Everything but the games.
It's a new Radio Shack.
Yo, it is. Because when Radio Shack was about to die, it was just started just adding random products to this. So like you walk in there, have Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Desperation, boy.
No, they got to do something. You remember when they were trying to repurpose some of the GameStop into like a lounge?
Yeah,
they were trying to make it more like into a land lounge.
They did that in one spot, like in bumfuck Indiana, and they didn't do it nowhere else, bro.
Right. I'm like, what y'all doing? Like, I should have probably continue with that. Maybe I would have, I don't know, changed the landscape.
What happened is they realized they didn't have the capital to refurnish all their damn stores. That's what happened.
They should have capitalized on the trading card space, because that would have been they could have had actual like people walking in the store and being a part of the store, because then people would be playing games there. They'd stay in the store. They'd buy stuff. I don't know
if that would work. That would deter me from coming. I don't want to be around that stench.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
Some other people would.
Unless you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Stay away from that.
I was about to say, what they had magic tournaments in GameStop. Would you go eat those?
If there's money on the line, yeah.
I've been
just trying to think about it. I think I've got $500 in winnings so far. I'm gonna try to get.
I need to walk in GameStop. Like I need to go into a GameStop.
It's depressing.
To see how it is.
Just make sure you got sneakers on. Don't come in there with like no slippers, because you might step on a toy and break your foot and shit.
Yeah, they actually have a lot of toys. They have PC products too. They'll have keyboards. I was like, damn. I was like, maybe if I need some random. I walked in the one they had gaming PC. Yeah, it just has
a RAM, a GPU from 5 years ago and shit. Yeah, you want to build a PC?
They had GPUs. They did have a GPU. They had an AMD GPU. I was like, what the fuck is happening here? It's confusing. It's confusing. It has an identity crisis. They have an identity crisis. They don't know what they are anymore.
I hope the employees are all right. If they come in there looking for PS5 and Xbox, just give them up, bro. Just give them up.
Your life is not worth dying to a corporation.
No, go ahead and give it to her, bro. They just go resell it anyways.
Yeah, last time I went to GameStop, it was to pick up the latest Pokemon. I was still in Florida, whichever one that was.
Do you only go to GameStop to pick up Nintendo games? I feel like you're like me. Like I'll literally only go to pick up Nintendo games. That's it.
Or like something I forget to order, like off of Amazon. I'll try to go to GameStop last minute. But like last time I went to was in Florida, and they didn't have it. And I was just like, see, I honestly said it. I was like, this is why nobody come here, bro. I don't got no fucking games, bro.
They don't even got what I want.
I come here once every 5 years. Y'all don't got no fucking games here, bro. I don't know fucking Funko Pop.
I think I literally go there. I think I agree. The only time I go there like on purpose is because there's a Switch game that I was just like, I need to get it. I just want to get this because I want to download the Switch, or I need like a controller. That's it.
I just hate the culture of that place. That's why I don't like going there. You go there, and like soon as you walk in, everybody's staring at you and shit, because nobody be in the store.
Can I help you?
People. Yeah, what are you looking for? I didn't ask for help, bro. And then when you get to the cash register, do you want to shut the fuck up, bro? Ring my game up. I don't want to pre-order nothing, dog.
You want to pre-order every game that comes out this year?
They got a whole list. You want to pre-order Madden 2027? What?
They got my ass last year, bro. They made me, because they had a deal. I was in there getting like trading cards, and they had a deal where basically it was buy two get one free. And I was like, ooh, this is damn, this is a good deal. It was a damn good deal, but I had to be part of the pro membership to get this deal. So they're like, he literally sat there and argued literally mathematics with me. And he was right. He was like, well, no, mathematically speaking, it's better for you to just buy this thing so you can get the third thing for free. But I was like, but what if I don't need the third thing? I just need the two. It was like, but when you want the third thing for free and you're just paying like $5 extra for something that retail costs at $30? And I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this motherfucker spit. I just wanted that man to just shut up so I can leave. So I was like,
he got you, bro.
He got me for it. He was like, and this is the worst part. Then he got me with because I was like, I'm not paying no fucking year. He's like, no, you just pay for a month. I was like, how much is the month? $5. I was like, ooh, $5. I mean, that's not bad. He's like, yeah, just $5. Then he's like, just come back. Guess what? I forgot to come back every month. Kept forgetting.
They got me out. That's how they get your
you bastards, you fucking bastards. So yeah, they got me on that.
You fucking bastards. Joe
Biden.
Yo, speaking of Joe Biden, my favorite genre of content on TikTok right now is the AI voices. Bro. AI voices. There's whole pages dedicated to the presidents playing games. That shit is so fucking funny, bro.
Obama playing Blaze Blue was hilarious, bro. I was dying, bro.
Follow, bro. AI is dangerous. AI is dangerous. Like the president's ones don't sound. You could tell it's fake, but I don't know if you've seen some of the Joe Rogan ones. I've seen some Joe Rogan ones. It sounds just like his voice. Like
it's about inflection. I think it's about the person's inflection. Like if it's a very like dry inflection, I think an AI can like if they sound robotic, I think like you can make an AI copy them.
Yeah. But Joe Rogan's voice is pretty consistent, so that makes sense. Yeah.
By the way. I am terrified of because it will happen in the next 5 years where people are going to get canceled off. People are going to try to cancel people off of fake clips, deep fakes, and not even realize it, and try to say this person said this person said the N-word. Here's a clip, and it's like completely deep faked, and your voice was AI automated, and like people just trying to do campaigns to get certain people destroyed off of fake footage.
Oh man, they made me think of something else you did put on the list that we were talking about, but we'll get to the SJW section.
Oh, it's the SJW section. Oh,
another deep fake.
That
that one.
Nasty.
What's the name? The latest sad news coming out of the Ubisoft camp, because this is the new sad news section. Ubisoft is just they can't get it together, man. It would seem that the lead director on two of the most popular Assassin's Creed games, Assassin's Creed Black Flag and Assassin's Creed Origins, has left the studio after being with Ubisoft for 17 years. If you take a look at his LinkedIn page, it's been updated. He's no longer with Ubisoft, and there's no reason to give into why. He just kind of quietly left. And people leave companies all the time, but maybe I'm digging real too deep on this, but I put it on the notes because I was like, I feel like personally, if you add the human element into it, if I was with a company for 17 years that's been making some of the best games for the last 20 years, at least some of my favorites, just the recent ones kind of suck. You didn't want to do your 20 years, you left at year 17. That says to me something's going on. And I mean, we've been talking about it in the podcast, about all the other funky stuff going on. And then on top of that, this month also, Ubisoft broke the Division 2. Apparently, the Division 2 is still a strong going game. There was an update that was supposed to come out with some new content, but before that update came out, they put out like a small little patch to update the game, and it broke the game, but they didn't realize it until they tried to put out the content that was supposed to come out this week, the paid content for the audience. That apparently that last update broke the game so much they weren't able to actually update it with new content, so they had to issue out a new statement letting their fans know, hey, you're not going to get the content like we promised on this day because we're too busy trying to fix the game that we didn't even know we broke until today. JG, what's going on at Ubisoft, man? What's going on?
Everything bad, bro. Like it really sucks because we're just waiting on the W at this point. Like I know we used to make jokes about like, hey, Ubisoft gets one W like out of every 3 or 4 games, but like they have just been on a really bad run. I didn't know the Division 2 was even still getting updates. That's how much I didn't know. I'm like, who was still even playing this game? But for them to even get to a point where they freaking destroyed the game and nobody can even play it, they broke it when they were just trying to release an update for a new season. I'm just like, geez, y'all cannot just catch a break at this point. The Ubisoft developer leaving after 17 years again, like I don't think that people should overlook that, because again, it has to be something else going on in the background that we're not privy to as to why someone would just leave. Like, yeah, you have all these memories, but it has to be something going on with the upper people, the people who make the real decisions as to why you just felt that at 17 years it's time to leave.
Mind you, they are working on Assassin's Creed Japan right now. the game that everybody's been asking for, and one of their top developers just left. I don't know, man. Yeah. Any hot takes, Ethos?
Ubisoft wants a Harry Potter success game.
What does that mean?
So you know how there was that ruling about like how he was like, you guys have to get it done, and what Ubisoft's been restructuring around is they want big brand games. Like that's the whole thing. They want a game that succeeds like Harry Potter did. Like Harry Potter is an example of a big brand that elevated the game sales and made it like astronomically high. That's why the current project they're working on that we haven't seen or really haven't gotten yet is Avatar. Again, big brand name. I think the movie just proved it that there's still a massive fan base for Avatar 2. Don't understand how. And then the other one is Star Wars. Like I think they believe that those two are going to basically hyper carry them and hopefully put them back into the spot that they need to financially. And I think if I was them and I saw how Harry Potter performed, I think that would make me feel very positive about the future, as long as the game ends up being. That's the thing. That's the problem with Ubisoft. They actually have to make the game good. The game needs to be good, and Ubisoft doesn't seem to always nail that part. So funny thing, guess what? They're still working on X Defiant. I saw whatchamacallit. I've seen my favorite.
Clancy off of it. They just took the name off of it.
My favorite game dev that I love to slander every once in a while, Mark Rubin. Shout out to him. If somehow he knows who I am, I doubt it. But if somehow he ever hears this is all just jokes. But I make fun of him because he was the director behind Ghost, and I hate that Call of Duty. I think it's the worst Call of Duty. So I constantly slander everything he says and does.
You know what's funny? I saw a TikTok last night where dude was talking about X Defiant, and I just thought the video was old, and it ended up on my For You page.
No,
he was like,
that's reason, bro.
Yeah, he was like, X Defiant is going to be a Call of Duty, a game that kills Call of Duty, a new shooter from Ubisoft. I don't remember looking at it. I played that game. That game is fucking ass, bro. No. Who said it's going to, and it's funny too, because I had somebody come on my Twitch chat maybe like last week, and he was like, I'm glad you started doing news on TikTok, because he's like, I've been getting a lot of misinformation on there. And I'm like, it made me think of that video right there. I'm like, who said that? This nigga said X Defiant is going to be the next big shooter? You don't play games. You just talking, bro.
Some of our old friends from the past apparently have been doing content about X Defiant. I'm just like, really? Like this? Y'all really don't believe that this is going to rival Call of Duty? Did y'all even play it when it came? When that first beta came out, it was really bad. And them dropping the Tom Clancy name is not going to make it any better.
Speaking of shitty companies, this was
where's Splinter Cell, you bastards?
Right.
How about that?
Speaking of shitty companies, this has nothing to do with gaming, but this is important to know. I'm looking at the timeline. This is a rumor that I read about maybe like a week ago, and it's true. So 1 hour ago, the Twitter support just tweeted, effective March 20, 2023, only Twitter Blue subscribers will be able to use text messages as their two-factor authentication method. If you don't subscribe to Twitter Blue, you cannot get the two-step authentication unless you use the one of the apps like Authy or Google Authenticator, you know, like the code generators. So if you're using, just so you guys are aware, next month, if you're using two-step verification via text message, they are now charging for that.
We're just going to shit.
This man Elon
boycott Twitter. Boycott Twitter.
That's a horrible decision. That is fucking.
I mean, at this point, bro, after seeing all this shit, him taking over and making it a complete fucking mess, I think at this point, I'm like, if you really believe that man is a genius, I've got to.
Yeah, just to put it into context, for people who don't understand, Elon Musk is asking you to pay him to make the website secure. So, and because most people are not going to pay for this shit.
Do you want me to tell you what it really is?
The website's going to become unsecure.
I'll tell you what it actually is. So Elon's trying to he's trying to stop the bleeding of the money that he's losing off the site. That's why every single move I've noticed is all like, that's why they're all bad moves, because they only hurt the site. They don't help it. Everything he's tying to Twitter, that's why he keeps tying stuff to Twitter Blue, is he needs to start making revenue off the site. So the reason why he's turning the text message system off is because the way that you do that is you pay for a service, and you have to pay for basically each time you call that service to basically send a text to somebody. So it's basically every time you basically have somebody who's using that, and if you're giving it away for free for all your users to protect their accounts, right? You know, that's just money draining. So now he's like, well, we'll tie it to the Twitter Blue where people will pay into it, so it'll pay for itself. And then we'll get rid of it so free users can't use it. So he's just basically, I know he's trying to find any little areas that he can cut corners on that he can save himself a little bit of money. But the problem is it's still a massive hole. None of this is going to solve the problem. There you go. That's your little tech. That's my experience from being in corporate tech. I know this because I've actually worked on a system like that. So I'm speaking from experience.
Elon Muskie.
Elon Musk, musty.
Ethos wanted me to put this on the podcast notes. I cannot show the footage because this is leaked footage, and I'm also not a big Dragon Age fan. But yeah, you're the one that asked.
Oh,
yeah. So some footage of the new Dragon Age game called.
Are we allowed to talk about it?
I mean,
we ain't under NDA.
We can talk about EA.
I
mean, unless you know.
I'm just not.
EA,
I'm not going to show the footage, but you can describe it.
As fellow EA shills, are we even allowed to talk about it? I don't. No.
I don't know. You just went in on
Twitter,
Apex. So
you're right.
Yeah, you still chilling right now.
Hey, I might be off some couple of lists now at this point.
No more trips to Sweden for you.
Yeah, no more trips to Sweden for me now. I'm gonna miss that fish. Anyways, it looks cool. I think it looks cool, and I didn't. It's kind of like when Suicide Squad got leaked, and everybody freaked out because they saw the menu and they were like, "What the fuck? Is that a battle pass?" And at least for this one, I didn't see a battle pass and I didn't see a store, so that's already a good sign. It seems like it's just gonna be a natural single player RPG. Remember those?
Yeah,
that's been a minute.
Like they're on the rise. Although
they're on the rise.
Didn't EA say that single player games are dead, but it's multiplayer games that are dying left and right?
Yeah, not anymore.
And the single player games that are selling well.
That age, like
how the tides have turned.
Because even EA canceled all their multiplayer games. They were just like, yeah, we're just gonna start making single player games now.
Yeah, to the single player multiplayer games.
All these multiplayer games are not sustainable because although gaming has become more mainstream, most of those people that have picked up games over the recent years, and I don't mean this as an insult, they're much more casual. So like you still have to make games for the hardcore, the people that are gonna play games regardless. There are a lot of people out here that just play games because it's sociable, but the minute that Fortnite event is over, they're probably not playing the game like that. Yeah. Like the moment that event in Apex is over, they're not playing games like that. So you still got to appeal to the hardcore.
Unless they're grabbing the whales. I think a lot of the whales are probably like casual people. That's my take, at least. Because if you think about it, right? Like I think a lot of the people who burn the most amount of money is because they don't have the time because of their jobs or their life. They don't have the time to spend 7-8 hours on a game, right? So unlike like kids, so instead they get home from work and they just like, I'll just bust out the credit card and buy this thing rather than try to grind for it. I think that's always been like this type of like pattern. So yeah, I don't know. What was this relating to? Oh yeah, EA saying they like single player games now. So yeah, more single player games, I guess.
EA likes where their money's at.
Yeah, that's true. Shout out to Dead Space. They've been on a roll though. They dropped Dead Space. Need for Speed was pretty solid. Dead Space was good.
Wild Hearts is kind of mixed though.
Wild Hearts was definitely an L.
Oh, you could say that's
EA original, so it's not really their fault. That was a thing that they just funded. They didn't actually make the call.
Needed a little bit more funding. You know what? Also needs
thrown it my way.
You also need some funding, guys. E3. You know, people got really excited that E3 was coming back, and then news has come out that the big three, PlayStation, Xbox, and Nintendo, will not be a part of E3. So if that's the case, and this turns out to be true, who gonna be at E3?
Oh boy. Well, you
Black
remember
at Xbox.
The Blacks at Xbox. Well, no, Microsoft is the Blacks at Xbox under Microsoft.
Oh, that's the Black. Okay, the Blacks at Ouya then.
Oh
if there are any.
E3 is going to turn into PAX LA, which is going to be indie devs.
That's unfortunate.
I don't even know if that's the case though, because I would imagine getting a booth out in LA is much more expensive than getting a booth in Boston.
You know, in retrospect, you know how blessed we are that we actually experienced like the height of E3. Now that I think about it, I didn't really think about that until now. Like
we went like right when it was peaking, and then it fell off.
It was peaking. Yeah, it's like an era that will like never ever happen again because of technology now. I don't think
but this like really sucks. If like I understood Nintendo not doing it, I understood Sony eventually backing out, but Microsoft literally has a theater called the Microsoft Theater in LA. If Microsoft doesn't want to come and at least do a conference in their own theater, then that's a freaking problem.
Yeah,
it's just gonna be the summer games.
I would imagine they want to compete, and it's like, what's the point of showing up just to show shit? Like, you also want to compete. I mean, I'm pretty sure Ubisoft will be there. Ubisoft will. They always get
with what? With what?
X Defiant. Come on, guys. Bro. Call of Duty killer.
All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, let's be honest. Nobody want to see no freaking X Defiant.
Yeah, right.
I don't even know what that means. X Defiant. Like, is the X silent? Is it just Defiant? Like, what does that even mean?
They're defiant of
Yeah, all I know is just it's pretty.
What does
much
Samurai
like,
Zero mean? There's zero samurai. Like
That's deep.
nobody
That's
knows.
deep.
I
Hit the
mean,
blunt.
yeah, I didn't even think
Nobody
about that,
knows.
bro. Yeah,
Yeah. You think about that?
You gonna leak the
You
story?
think I thought about that? No. You gotta
But
touch me
yeah,
right about that.
I think Jeff, like, if you're listening, bro, you need to make some of the Game Fest bigger and better than last year, because at this point, you're the only thing that's there. Because I don't think the E3 is going to be sustainable with this. Nobody's going to want to come if not any of them are going to be there. Like, what? I don't even understand the point. It just needs to be individual devs and publishers coming in and just show whatever game that you want to show. And Jeff just needs to showcase it, and that's it.
RIP E3, just take it in the back and shoot it, bro. They really need to stop.
Yeah, I thought this might have been the one, bro. I was like preparing. I was like, let me get my June open. I was like, maybe we'll actually come back to LA. We got to check in with big homie Ace first, and then we go crash at Ace's crib, aka TBH's crib. We gonna crash there.
That's crazy. We don't even acknowledge TBH.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge this man. He's literally renting the place for Ace. That's
TV.
how it is.
Yeah.
Him and Aki, bro, they really homeless, but Ace lets them stay there. Ace lets him stay there until he has his movie role.
Ace, he's like, hey, that's just the summer house. You're allowed to. You can stay.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. This is my second house, bro. This is my second house. I got the house in Vegas.
As soon as this news had broke about the big three not being at E3, I put it in the group chat. I said, you niggas is not crashing it. They can stay at my house if some shit was really popping off. You niggas could not stay at my house for no indie games. You're not coming over here. You're not coming over here, bro, for that shit, dog.
You're not about to eat out of my. You said you're not about to eat out of my fridge for some mid.
Hell nah, bro. I don't got enough space for that.
Nah, bro, we're gonna find a way to go to Summer's Game Fest again. We gonna get in as a GI pod, and I'll come for a couple of days. We're not going for no 4 or 5 days, though.
True.
Unfortunately, I was gonna be in Vegas this week, but I couldn't go. Unfortunately,
I feel that.
We gotta find a way to. Yeah, we gotta find a way to go to October.
All the hoes gonna be in there.
Time.
October, baby.
Shout out to the hoes.
Yeah, it does suck though. We eat those now. Now that I think about it in retrospect, yeah, we did go to E3 at the right time, because now y'all niggas can't even go, or if you go, it's totally not going to be worth it.
Do you remember that first year they opened to the public? You remember how like we were just bitching about the whole damn, like we bitched about that.
Yeah, it was insane.
More than actually anything else about the entire thing. This shit was insane.
Do you remember when you were around when someone was like tripping out in the cafeteria? And like security had to like beat their ass.
No,
I remember that.
No, I wasn't.
I don't know if you was there. I don't know if you was there at that particular moment, but like, bro, we were around and we just saw somebody just wilding out.
Yeah, it wasn't because it wasn't just like, for those who don't understand why it was bad when E3 was open to the public. It wasn't just that we had to wait longer to get our interviews and get our work done, but it was also just like the lack of like common courtesy and decency in people. There was no etiquette. People were just acting a fucking fool, and it was supposed to be like a professional industry event. Like you said, him fighting the security guards. I remember people like yelling at one another, people just being in the way. Matter of fact, was it, you remember Ethos when we went to go check in for, I forgot what, it was some Japanese game, some RPG game. And the guy cut us off when we went to check in, and he's like, I need to get an interview for this game. And the lady was like, sir, don't you see that I have an actual website here that needs to do an interview? Yeah, but I really like your games and you need to give me a chance because I'm a YouTuber or some shit like that. I remember telling the Ethos, I was like, that dude will never get any type of opportunity again, because like he just blocked his blessings.
Blacklisted himself.
Yeah, he blacklisted himself, being totally unprofessional. So it was just like a lack of that shit.
I just remember getting walked up on and asking me what was my accuracy at McCree.
Oh yeah, the McCree.
Oh my god, bro, he really did.
I looked at TVH. TVH was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'll be over here, losers.
I was like, I don't fucking know. It was like 35 or something.
That's one of those moments you're like, wow, there's really people out there that behave.
Yeah, there's really people out here. There's actual sweats out here. Like
dude, fucking relax, dude.
Yeah,
all these cool new games, and you want to talk about one that's already out.
Overwatch, yeah.
It's crazy though, because we're going back to this article. Xbox is actually on the board at the ESA, so like this really sucks if like they're just not going to show up. They said we're going to make some plans, but they don't know what the plans are. They're unconfirmed right now.
And they're probably going to do everywhere.
They're going to do the Xbox Fan Fest on some venue away from E3.
In the words of gamers everywhere, game dead. That's the best way to end this. Game dead. Game did.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Oh
what
wait, no.
interactive is.
E3 didn't just die.
It was murdered.
It was murdered.
What's the name?
Classic.
Last little bit of news we got, social justice warrior section. This broke right before we started recording, man. This is a really interesting story. So, Twitch streamer banned after appearing to run over a dog with her car. On February 17th, today, and that's the day in which we're recording, a Polish streamer by the name of Side Nuke, I think is her name, was driving in a car and talking to
what a fitting name.
Yo, chill. Come on, a dog died. Was driving in a car and talking to her chat when she picked up her phone. In a split moment, something could be heard hitting her car, prompting the shocked streamer to pull over and expect the damage. After doing so, an animal could be heard whimpering in the background, leading Side Nuke to unbuckle her seatbelt and get out of the vehicle. Now, the interesting thing about this story to me is the fact that she got banned, not because her eyes weren't on the road. And by the way, in this picture, in this stream, it's raining, so visibility is at an all-time low. She didn't have her eyes on the road. It's because she hit a dog, and which is a bad thing, but she should have just got banned because her eyes.
Yeah, I would assume committing murder or manslaughter would get you banned off of Twitch. I would not. I'm not surprised by that. Is that what you're mad about? That she got banned for?
No, just the fact that, just the fact, like, bro, it's
what?
just that is bad.
What are you mad about? Yeah, she shouldn't have. She hit a dog. Yeah,
but she could have hit a human too. Is the point I'm trying to make, bro?
Yeah, also true. Yeah,
like her eyes.
Of course.
But the thing is, the fact she had the audacity to do this shit. This has been banned for like 5-6 years now. Because I remember motherfuckers used to do this shit, and I'm just like, and it was raining.
I remember.
Why were you on your phone
like their Uber? They were doing like their Uber routes, and they were and then Twitch was like, no,
truck drivers were doing it.
Too many. Yeah, it was too many accidents, and they were like, no, you cannot. You can drive, and that's what people are still confused about. You can drive and stream. You just can't look at your Twitch chat. So you can't look at your phone or whatever device that you're using. You literally can't look at the chat because you will be, distracted driving at that point. So they ban that part.
Hear me out. You just ban it, and only if you're a passenger you can Twitch stream.
I mean,
obvious.
I would hope that would be the next step, to be honest, because I mean, what's the point of driving if you can't even look at your chat?
This seems like one of those more like idiot +1 moments of like that clip that I tweeted about the people back in the, I guess, the 70s or something like that, bitching that like that people wanted to put laws that said you couldn't drink. Yeah, you couldn't be drinking while you're driving, or you couldn't drink right before you drive. And they were like, it's some communist country, I'll tell you what. Like goddamn communists moving around
crazy.
now.
People used to drink and drive in the 80s like it was nothing.
Yeah, and to say, hey, that was crazy. He said, hey, maybe it was a hard day at work. I like to bust open a beer before I drive and go home.
Where's Obama to defend our rights?
Oh man, and it's like the same type of thing. It's like now it's like just an updated version of it where it's just like, hey, maybe you shouldn't be looking at your phone while you're driving. Like, maybe you just shouldn't. Just don't do it.
Why do y'all need to stream while y'all driving? Get off the fucking internet. God damn, bruh.
They can't. You have to be on it 24/7 to them.
Get a life. But when it's raining though, that's the last thing that, like, I've had some very stressful moments driving, especially out here in LA, bro. They cannot drive, and like it really fucks with your visibility. Like, get off the fucking stream and get to where you need to go.
How are you driving?
That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying like, how are you able to drive in LA? I heard y'all like can't even move.
Oh, you just got to be me. I'm mad defensive. The traffic is only if you hit the highway. I avoid the highway as much.
I just heard y'all go like 2 miles per hour. Like,
oh yeah. You'll be driving on the freeway and somebody will zoom past you. I'll be doing 10 over and somebody will zoom past me. And I'll be like, God damn, brother, it be making you feel like you going slow. He going 150. It definitely is like that, bro. If the sign says 35, they going 50. Trust me.
Oh man.
I don't do that shit, bro. I'm not trying to get pulled over. But any hot takes before we wrap this up, JG?
I mean, man, after watching that clip, because I ain't even watching it.
I didn't play that clip. I'm not gonna play that shit on the stream.
Hearing that dog whimper, boy.
You actually hear the dog? Hold on, man.
Yeah,
if you look at the article, there's a clip in there.
Whimpering. Yeah, nah, it was bad, bro. It was bad, and it just like, I mean, I know that she feels sorry about it, but like, I hope that if she really uses that as a lesson, like, forget being banned on Twitch. Like you said, TBH, if that was a human, Like then it would have turned into, you know, something really, really serious. So like you really gotta, you know, stop that. And don't be driving and looking at your Twitch chat, because she was super casual with it. Like she was just a pro at driving, and then look what happened. You hit a freaking dog, and you just hit a dog whipper. So hopefully the dog's okay. I don't know what the updates on it, but obviously she's getting the hate, and I'm not gonna say that she deserves it, because you know, I seen people saying that, you know, she should kill herself and all that stuff, because people just be going to people be going to the extremes when it comes to that.
That's what I hate about the internet. People act like you're not allowed to make a mistake. Like it's an honest mistake. It's a really bad one, but it's an honest mistake.
Yeah, but you know, like you said,
white people won't forgive you for killing dogs. I'm telling you right now. You heard a dog?
We've been over this.
Nah, we know how people feel about animals. We know how white people feel about animals. They will, they will get on your head about that. So
since I got my dog, I've never had so many white people walk up and talk to me in my life, bro. I'm being dead ass serious.
No, you're not lying. You're not lying, because it's like a defense.
How old is he? Oh my god! Like they're like, now it's a dog before me. I'm like, god damn.
It's a good boy. It's a good boy.
I literally had I had an older white lady in the right before we started recording. I walked him. It was in the elevator. She was like, "How long have you had him?" I was like, "It's been about 3 months. He's 7 months now." She's like, "Oh my gosh." She said, "God bless your heart for adopting him. I really appreciate you. I don't even know you. Like, what I've never talked to this old woman before. She said, "God bless your heart for adopting. He needed you." I'm like, y'all love for dogs is just,
you know, that damn dog. Did you know the dog before I did?
Yeah. What?
A lot of people I think are like that too, especially like if they're dog owners themselves. I get if they're a dog owner. If they're a dog owner, I totally understand. Like, there's definitely like a sort of like unwritten law about dog owners. Like, they just feel invested in other people's dogs no matter what. It's just a
like dogs just apparently have forgotten how to survive without humans.
Without humans. Yeah. Anytime I see another dog,
bro, like they'll be okay.
Yeah,
you know,
they'll be all right.
They may be in a better spot. Yes, with you having them in their home and domesticating them, but
Oh no, I'm not gonna lie. Well, my dog's insane, and he lived out on the street. So yeah, I agree with you, JG. But he got PTSD. He's definitely fucked in the head.
I understand that. Yeah, I understand that.
My dog's insane, but other than that, you know.
Street dog. That's all I got on the show notes. I got anything else I want to add before we wrap this one up?
Oh, the other thing in the SJW section about the Twitch streamer who got caught watching some deep fakes.
Oh, man. I didn't put that on the notes. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah, that happened since the last pod. So a streamer called Atrioc, he got caught because he was streaming and someone saw something very interesting in one of his web browsers.
4K.
And they called that man in 4K, looking at apparently a website where they have deep fakes of female streamers and other celebrities. And one of them was a very popular streamer by the name of Pokemon. She was on there. So some deep fakes of some porn, her being naked, doing some things, along with some other. It had a whole list of female streamers and celebrities. And apparently, this man he couldn't take it. He clicked on the website. He couldn't contain himself, and he got caught. And then he apologized. All the white tears.
That's awful, Daisy. That's actually
girl
terrible.
In the back. The girlfriend in the background. She's crying too. Why is he watching porn? Let alone deep fake porn. It's not even real. He just could not contain himself. The white side of the internet is so freaking hilarious.
It's always been insane.
It's so freaking hilarious.
I don't understand the appeal of that shit.
I don't either.
You don't like seeing your favorite celebrity giving sloppy top?
I've never had a celebrity crush. No.
That's a lie. That's a fucking lie.
I think celebrities because there's a difference.
That's a lie.
I think celebrities are attractive, like certain ones, but like a crush where like you be fiending over. So like, if I get nah.
No, a crush isn't fiending. That's obsession. That's stalker. That's obsession. That's not the same. I'm talking like everyone had like a crush on like Rihanna or something like that, or like for example, like
when I was searched Rihanna porn. I've never searched that.
I'm not saying that. I'm just being like, I'm not saying you went and go. I'm going to find porn of them. I'm talking about like, okay. Here's a real life example of one. This I'm pretty sure everybody did this. So I had a crush on when I was really young. I was like 13 or 14. I had a crush on Vanessa Hudgens, and then when I found out that her nudes leaked, I remember when that thing had leaked. The what was that called?
I know
what was that shit?
That's when they kicked her off the Disney Channel. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but it wasn't even just her. It was just like a bunch of celebrities had like.
Was it iCloud when they had?
Yeah, it was like a iCloud. There was like a phrase for it. It was like
data breach.
There was a data breach that happened, but they called it. It was like an event, and they were just like, "Yo, whatchamacallit shit just dropped or some shit, and everybody was just like, "Ooh, shit," and they were just like, just looking, just to be like, "Oh, I'm just curious," because like this is just a regular person I would normally see on like TV or whatever. Is I had a crush on them, and now you basically busting it wide open from like being.
I remember that though. Yeah,
yeah, I forgot what it's called.
Yeah,
I remember like that's the Husbands. I was one when I was younger, and I was just like, they were just like the news leaked, and I was like, oh, cool, like horny little teenager me.
Yeah, like you go look just because, but
I'm gonna definitely look, but like deep.
But when it goes beyond that, then it gets.
I'd argue if you're looking at deep fakes, you're fiending. Like you had something on a subconscious level.
Yeah. I mean,
I can see from a curiosity standpoint of just like a scientific like okay, how does like what does this look like, or how does this look? But I guess like if you're like 4 tabs, 5 tabs,
curiosity is you opened it, you looked at it, and then you closed it.
Got it. Yeah.
He's not curious. He had the tab open.
Yeah, because he paid for it. You took the extra step of paying.
That's not curiosity.
Bro. He paid for that shit.
You could just Google it and check.
Man, crying on the stream. I'm so sorry, baby. It won't happen again. Oh, man.
Wait, so the girlfriend? That's what I was confused about. So why
did she just apologize,
bro?
Was she crying because he got caught, or was she crying because she didn't know he was doing this?
You know why? Because he got caught.
Wow. She probably into that shit too. She probably watching him do it. That shit crazy. Bro.
There's no way for us to know. Was this person? This podcast has gone off the rails.
Come on, bro.
One more question. Was this streamer were they actually friends with the said like Portkey or something like that? Or like,
now that I don't know. I don't.
Okay,
I don't know if he's in that community or not.
It'd be one thing in my mind. I think there's like a layer to it, right? If it's like you don't know the person, but I think if you know the person and you're Googling that and you're watching. Then I think that's a red flag. That's definitely a little bit.
Even more strange. That's even more.
Yeah, that's definitely very concerning to say the least. I think. So.
Yeah, but I think one of the craziest things about this is, again, like back in the day, if we saw like a favorite celebrity like naked or some news or something, and they end up being fake, like we didn't know back then. You just see them, like you look, you be like, oh shit, like they might be real, right? But if you actively know that it's a deep fake and you're still looking at it, let alone going to extra step and paying for it, that's on some next level shit, bro. That's why I say you were actively trying to bust a nut at that point.
Hey, the closest I got was Cassie. God bless her.
Probably the same person that be paying for them little porn anime games that be popping up on websites and shit.
Bruh.
Weird.
How many times are you going to see freaking Maggie or freaking Lisa off The Simpsons busted open, bro, or someone
Naruto
off
bangs Betty Boop? Like, nah, I'm good off that.
I'm like, nah, this should be disgusting.
This show's been 2 hours and it went off the rails. Okay, I'm tired of talking. This dog needs to go walk.
We're done. Shut up. All right, yeah, that's the end of the podcast. Here, we'll close it out here.
Yeah. All right. So on that nasty ass note,
bye everybody. That's the last thing you're gonna hear from us.
Yo, you got to close the floor. What's your closing statement for episode 139? Go.
Just to make it, since this thing went off rails, in the comment section below, I want y'all to tell us what was the nastiest shit y'all saw somebody busting it open.
Oh no, I'm not looking at that comment section. Y'all
hashtag comments below.
JG,
what's your closing statement for episode 139? Go.
Insane, bro. Shout out to Aki, bro. You a good dad, TBH. You a good dad. I saw him. He needed his attention. I know your daddy was working. He doing a pod right now, but shout out to Aki, bro. He be putting you in for the loop, man. You got you a good son there.
Yeah, once every hour he's got to come check in. I got to give him a hug and a kiss, and then he leaves me alone and go play.
Oh, that's adorable. Give him a hug right now.
No, what's the name? I'm all hugged out. He gets on my fucking nerves sometimes. What was I about to say? My closing statement for episode 139 is it's Black History Month, and there are 3 Black hosts on this show, so do not let this show fail. Please hit the like button if you're watching the video version at youtube.com/GI updates, and if you're listening to the audio on Spotify or Apple, please rate the show 5 stars. If this video on YouTube does not get at least 1,000 likes, y'all racist. I'm just saying, it's Black History Month. You see the Koofy? Come on. Anyways, I appreciate y'all for coming through. If you made it this far on the show, hashtag bust it open. Leave it in the comment section. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of the Game and Illuminati podcast. Peace.